Hello and welcome to Virtual Windsor 2020. A couple of months ago, when we sadly had to cancel Windsor Horse Show, we immediately started thinking about how we could keep the spirit alive at Windsor this year, and to introduce a number of things which we know to be Windsor stock favourites. And so the team in the Horse Show office came up with Virtual Windsor, and we've been absolutely inundated with the response by all sorts of different people from the equestrian community and without, to actually be part of this Virtual Windsor. So why am I here with Smarty, my horse? Well, she entered one of the classes, many classes that we had. Retired racehorse, aren't you, Smarty? Ex-national hunt, now looks after me. And pleasure here, Smarty, but you didn't win. But we've all entered and been able to enter Windsor with our horses, and we've had such a number of entries. We've had 83 visitors from around the world, international, on our website. We've had 15 countries who've entered their horses. We've had shires, we've had all sorts of different things, and the judging panel led by Nigel Hollings has had a really interesting time, because quite incredibly we've had over 4,000 entries on Virtual Windsor. It's been an extraordinary time, and we've enjoyed every single moment of it, and I hope you have too, and we'll continue to do so over the next 5 days. Come here, Smarty. As we go forward, do some live judging. We've got some great people and many interviews, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And I thank everybody who's taken part, who's helped to keep the show alive this year. We will be back in 2021, bigger, stronger, and hopefully as enjoyable as ever. And just to say, on the opening day of Windsor Horse Show, how incredibly appreciative we are for you joining and being part of this. So, enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you.
Well, thanks there to Simon Brooks-Ward, and once again, welcome to Virtual Windsor. For the next 5 days, we're going to be bringing you a packed schedule from 11:30 each morning, or whatever time that happens to be if you are watching from outside the UK. So let's take a look at what's coming up on day number 1. We're going to be kicking off the final judging of our showing classes. And I know over 4,000 people from literally all over the world have entered those. So today we're going to be seeing the working hunters, the show hunters, the Cleveland Maids, the very creative horse and hound class. We've got the Arabs and part Arabs in there as well. And we're also taking 2 trips to the world of international show jumping. We're going to be hearing from Scott Brash and Katie Jerram. And when you're at Windsor, if you love the various different food and drink offerings that are available within our shopping village, then you won't be disappointed today, as today's shopping fix is all about fudge and alcohol. What could be better? Now, each day, we'd love for you to get involved, and in just a few minutes' time, I'll tell you exactly how you can do that. Lots of people getting involved already, actually, but for now, let's cross over to Nick Brooks-Ward for the first of our virtual showing classes.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show. It gives me great pleasure to the man who's had the fantastic job of judging 4,000 photographs over the last 3 weeks. He is, of course, a legend in the British and the international show scene. He's one of the most respected judges. He's ridden show champions, hacks, riding ponies, you name it. He's done it. Hunters all over the world. He's the chairman of the British Show Horse Association. He's on the council of the British Show Ponies Association. He's the senior showing steward at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Is there anything you haven't done? Hello and welcome, Nigel Hollings.
Thank you very much, Nick. This was actually a first, so I'd never done this before. So that's one to put on my list. And I can assure you, everybody, I have looked at every single photograph that was submitted.
Have you really?
Yes.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. Well, let's face it, Nigel. Yes, I know that you're the chairman, I know that you're uber important in the world of showing, but you've had very little else to do over the last 3 weeks, so you might as well have done this, mightn't you? Great. So, my friend, shall we crack on with the very first of our classes, always on the first day of the Royal Windsor Horse Show? It is our Arabs, the wonderful silky smooth horses that fly across the desert, and the partbreds and the partbred Arabians. So shall I take you 10th to 4th, and then we can go 3, 2, 1 in the time-honoured fashion?
Yes, yeah, then that'll be good. I'm all set up here because there's one thing about judging this, the end for Royal Windsor, is that my knowledge on personal computers and Dropbox and all things like that has grown immensely.
Well done. Okay, in 10th place, a lovely grey. Well done to Anna Matthews and Melekero. In 9th place, it was Shirley Diddick and Chapelfield Ladies Man. In 8th place, Victoria Timperley, Victoria with her own Avec Moi. That's with me in French, Nigel, just in case you didn't know that. In 7th place, it was Sarah Clume with Jessica Goodyear's High Definition. 6th, Kimberly Bates. Well done to Kimberly and her lovely grey. And in 5th place, Rachel Brightmore, Olivia Brightmore's Megland Moon Dance. Beautiful little picture there. And in 4th place, Alison Murray and Sinatra in 4th. And so, Nigel, you had well over 100 entries, 129 in the Anglo-Arabs and the partbreds and the Arabs. Take us through your top 3.
Right, well, in 3rd place is, I love this horse, the free movement and the breed characteristics were all captured in that photograph.
Well done.
I love the purebred Arab. I love it. And this just showed what a beautiful and versatile animal it is.
Cara McKinnon and Roadhouse Romeo. Nigel, so many hacks have come through from the world of the Arabian, and you've ridden a lot of top world-class hacks. I mean, you know, it says everything. It floats and it's smooth and it's silk. That's exactly what an Arab is, isn't it?
Yeah.
2nd place, talk us through this lovely pony.
As far as quality, and remember for the partbred, you do need to show some breed characteristics. But this is a lovely 14-2 show pony, and its movement and the way it covers the ground is shown in that one moment. And I just loved it. And it's like with any of the photographs, the main thing is they've got to grab you, they've got to get your attention, and this certainly does. Beautifully turned out, and it was very, very close for the first 3.
So very well done. In 2nd place, Emily Parkhouse and Jacket's Destiny. But the winner of the first of our classes here at Virtual Royal Windsor in the Arabs and the partbred Arabs, many congratulations to Abby Shaw's R-Gem by Design J. Nigel, what stood out for your winner?
Well, I mean, you just looking at the photograph, the animal is just on air. I mean, a lot of people think that the Arabian breed, especially the purebred Arabs, are just a fancy show pony, showboating type of animal. But, I mean, all our world-leading endurance riders, you know, they've all got Arabian horses, and they are so strong. And what I love about this photo is it shows the strength and the liberty and the absolute sort of freedom it has. But if you look at the animal closely, like I did, it's got the depth and the bone as well.
Well done, Nigel. And what we mustn't ever forget is that every horse traces its history back to the Arabian stallions, don't they? Of Dali and Godolphin.
Yeah, and a lot of our beautiful ponies and hacks and all our show animals, you know, a lot of it does go back to the Arabian breed. I mean, the best ponies are the Welsh cross Arab crosses. So, but they are magnificent animals, magnificent.
They certainly are. So now, thank you very much, Nigel. Many, many congratulations. The winner of the Arabs and the Parkbred Arabs. Well done, Abby Shaw and R. Gem by Design J. Second was Emmy Parkhouse and Jacket's Destiny. And third, Cara McKinnon and Red House Romeo. Thank you, Nigel. Next class coming up.
Well, congratulations there to Abby Shaw. Some real spectacular entries in that first class. Now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we'd really like you to be a part of Virtual Windsor and get involved. So if you are watching via Facebook, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, then you can add your comments, good luck messages, opinions about what you've seen, and anything else really within that comments box on Facebook just below. Or if you're watching on YouTube, then it's that little chat panel just on the right hand side. And if you like to tweet, then you can simply use the hashtag #VirtualWindsor. We're going to be reading out your comments, getting you involved. Of course, we're here for the next 5 days, and in just a couple of minutes time we're going to be hearing from Katie Jerram. But for now, we're going to head back to Nick Brooks-Ward as we get underway with the Cleveland Maids.
It's Wednesday the 13th of May. Welcome back to the truly amazing, the truly mind-boggling, how he's looked at 4,000 pictures, I do not know, from 86 different countries, 83 different countries. Good afternoon. Welcome back, Nigel. Nigel,
Yeah.
Class number 2 of our virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show is the Cleveland Maids. Cleveland Maids, one of the great, strong, top quality, big, powerful breeds of England's native horses.
Yes, I mean you've used the words how I would describe. They are powerful. They are a working animal, and they've been working sort of for centuries. And I like to see the fact that you can not only use them in ceremonial occasions, but they are great rides too. I mean, when I was judging hunters, judging hunters, I don't now, but...
That's a long time ago, Nigel.
No, it's not that long, thank you very much. 20 years ago, you know, some of the nicest heavyweights we had about at that time, heavyweight hunters, were Cleveland Maids. And there were some great rides, and I remember a number I was judging at Essex County. You know, that'd be 25 years ago. And the heavyweight hunters, they had Vin and Roy Trigg and all those in. But the first two all came down from northeast. I think the Morehouses won with Cleveland Bay. And they were nice horses, very, very nice, but they were deep and strong, which is what heavyweights should be.
Absolutely right. And, you know, as we all know, Prince Philip won a gold medal driving Her Majesty the Queen's Cleveland Maids in the World Carriage Driving Championships back in 1980. So you are absolutely right. They are very, very, very strong and very powerful animals, and such history. So we'll go down, as we did with the Arabs, we'll go down 10th down to 3rd, and then we can go 3, 2 and 1. Big entries in the Cleveland Maids, and a really good entry actually, 43, Nigel, and that's really important for all the breeding going forward, I think.
Yes, I think it's because the Cleveland Bay is sort of the breed classes have been forgotten a little bit, apart from Windsor and the Great Yorkshire. You know, a lot of the big shows now have dropped them.
That's true. So, well done. In 10th place, 43 entries in the Cleveland Bays. Well done to Helen Whiteley and Tomaskin Primrose. In 9th place, Annabelle Bray and Willow Annabelle. 8th, Boo Ridgett with her lovely Cleveland Bay. In 7th, Emma Richardson and Westfield Smarty Pants. In 6th, Kimberly Morton and Braithwaite Countryman. 5th, Susan Williams and Shady Lady. And 4th, Sophie Rogers and O'Malley III. Some really strong looking horses there, Nigel. And it must have been difficult to get down to your top 3.
It was a very close thing. I mean, it was a close thing through the top 10. But there's something in the top 3 that just captured what I was looking for.
So in third place, I'm looking at the picture, and they showed in the Copper Horse Ring at the Royal Windsor Horse Show last year. Well done to Leslie King and Barbarian Hercules. Really nice quality type.
Yes, I mean, he shows the stride, and you don't expect them to sit up and be as athletic as the Arabian or the Thoroughbred, but you know, he's the sort of horse I think, well, actually, I'd quite like to sit on him.
In second place, shown in hand, well done indeed to Helen Hennessy and Brackenbray Ragnald.
Yes, I really like this horse. I mean, he has lovely limb on him. He's got the scope. You can see how strong he is behind. Yeah, he really caught my eye from when I very first saw that it opened the photograph, and he was always in my mind.
Well done indeed to Leslie in Helen in second place. But your winner, very well done to Matt Powers, Matt and Her Majesty the Queen's Wyvale Harry. Her Majesty's so passionate about the Cleveland Maids. And Nigel, talk us through.
Yes, what I loved about this horse, and you can see it in that moment in the photograph, is how he covers the ground, and the rider looks comfortable. He's very, very typey, and at the same time he moves well, and he was just a horse that immediately I thought, that is the sort of horse I would imagine a Cleveland Bay to be. Strong, powerful, no nonsense, no frills, just gets on with his job, and that's what that photo showed.
So very well done indeed to Matt Powers. Thank you, Nigel, and Her Majesty the Queen's Wyvale Harry, winners of the Cleveland Bays. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you.
While the Cleveland Bays are just so versatile, aren't they? And the amount of history in that breed is fantastic. So well done there to Matt, Her Majesty the Queen, and of course the rest of our top 10. Now, thank you to everyone who's getting in touch already. Victoria Voss saying brilliant. Well done to everyone connected. This is fantastic. Glad you're enjoying it. Leslie Shields watching says lovely horses. Particularly love the winner. Angela Keats says well done, Annabelle. Well done, John Bennett says Fiona Reid. Claudia Rooks watching. Leslie Chubb says this is amazing. Deborah Graham says beautiful. Well done, everyone. Fiona Scott says beautiful Cleveland Bays. Just fantastic to have all of you getting involved. And this is the question, as well as all your comments and good luck messages, this is the question for now. Where are you watching from? I want to find out who is our furthest away viewer, because I know already, I think we've seen one in New South Wales and Australia. So where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments box on Facebook, in the chat window on YouTube, or if you're on Twitter, then you can simply use the hashtag #VirtualWindsor. Get more of your mentions a little bit later, but for now, Katie Jerram is a name that is known throughout the equestrian world. She has won so many major titles here at Royal Windsor, Horse of the Year show, Royal International, and various other places as well. She's ridden and produced the horses for Her Majesty the Queen, and at last year's Royal Windsor Horse Show, even though she was really busy, we managed to grab her for just a couple of minutes.
So showing producers are producing horses for different people all around the country that produce horses to go in the show ring or working hunters. So I produce hacks, cob, riding horses, hunters, working show horses, working hunters and hunters. I've had some amazing horses. It's been a lovely journey that I've had. My first horse I absolutely loved, called March Past, and from that day forward the Queen sent me some of the most beautiful horses. So I've got Tower Bridge, which is in the stable here, which I've had an awful lot of success. I chose him as a 2-year-old from the field at Hampton Court. My main horse for I think this year is this lovely little number here, called Donation. He's absolutely charming. and I love him to bits. He's been out 4 times with me and won 4 times. We're very excited. Sunday may happen, but Sunday might not. Showing. It's the person's opinion on the day, so you just go with it. And if it's not going to happen on Sunday, it'll happen one day. From the age of 7, I used to come to Royal Windsor. Used to have the day off school for it, which was just tremendous. And it was always, Windsor was the place to be. And before that I produced for the Queen, it was my favourite show of all time. I'm just so proud that I can be here to ride for the Queen, and the time she can watch them is just amazing, and it puts me into another cloud. I'm just ride on cloud 9, and I just think I'm so lucky.
Well, great to hear from Katie there, and she's actually going to be one of the competitors in our next virtual class in just a moment or two. God, we've got people watching from all over the world. From Southland in New Zealand, that's Georgie Bell. Jessica also in New Zealand there. Let's take a look. We've got Ashton watching in Australia. Miranda in Devon. Well, that's quite far away. Cara's watching in Ayrshire, Scotland. Nicole DeWitt in South Africa. Julia's watching in West Sussex. Hertfordshire, says Joanna Castles. Good to have you with us, Joanna. Rachel's watching in Hertfordshire. Mark Tarrant in Australia. Central Course. Great to have you with us as well. Darrell in Manchester. So if you are watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know where you are watching from, or if you're on Twitter, again, use that hashtag Virtual Windsor. As someone mentioned just how much they're learning from Nigel, our chief judge, and that is so true. I agree with you, Lucy, and because of that, let's hand it back over now to Nigel and of course Nick Brooks-Ward.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show on day 1 in the morning. And Nigel, oh my word, how on earth do you keep going? This was a huge entry, wasn't it? In the NAF 5-star Hunters, the show Hunters, 259 entries.
Yeah, I mean, and I promise everyone. Yeah, I promise everyone I looked at every single one, not once but twice. That was like a full morning.
In just in the show Hunters. But this is the show Hunters with a difference. It's not the lightweights, the middleweights, and the heavyweights. It's not the amateurs. It's not the novices. It is ponies and horses all mixed together.
It was a treat, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's some beautiful animals, horses and ponies in this top 10.
Brilliant. Well done. So we'll go down the list. Well done, Nigel, for going through these. In 10th place, Katie Jarham. Katie with Her Majesty the Queen's Clulani. In 9th place, Miranda Wallace and Toby's Mr. Bottom. In 8th place, Katie Jarham, Her Majesty the Queen's Lancer. 7th, you've got stories all the way through this lot, Nigel, haven't you? Alexandra Naylor with her own Shirley's Downton. In 6th place, Liberty Taylor Hopkins and Carside Kate. 5th, Vicky Tennant, Aubrey Chapman's MHS Charlie Fox. In 4th, Hattie Evans and Eskside Carnelian. And in 3rd place, where are we going to in 3rd, Nigel? A lovely pony. Well done to Lily Brennan and Thistledown Sea Mariner.
Yes, I mean, this is a lovely pattern of a 13-hand show hunter. And it just grabbed my attention straight away. I mean, it's deep, it's strong, it has a combination that just gives you joy when you look at it. Rider and pony in total harmony.
2nd place, another Thistledown pony, Alice Binks and Maisie Binks's Thistledown Arctic Monkey. Lovely pony, Nigel.
Stunning pony, absolutely stunning. And looking at the background, I think that's up at Edinburgh at the Royal Highland Showground.
That's definitely at the Highland, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, how could you get a better model than that? It's one of my favourite ponies. And look at the child. Look how happy she is to be on board. and that's the perfect stamp. If you were going out to teach people what is the ideal stamp, this would be your template of a 12-hand shunter pony.
Yeah, with gold there as well, Nigel, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can see with those limbs and that hind leg, of course it would.
Brings a smile to your face, it really does. And the winner of the NAF 5-star show hunters out of a massive entry of 259. Well done indeed to Ella Pybus and Just Murphy II. Nigel.
Well, I mean, you don't need to say anything else. I mean, that is just the most amazing photograph of an amazing pony. Yes, it's in a snaffle. It's a novice. But it will obviously be a big winner in opens as well. That movement, the way it's using its hind leg, the actual overall picture, you could blow that up into any size you wanted. And you could see Tatlow or, Robert Oliver, Rob Walker on that.
Nigel Hollings. Nigel Hollings.
Yeah, that was in the 80s. I did used to beat Vin and David.
I know you did. I know you did. I was there.
Yeah.
Once,
well,
Nigel.
That is just stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Well, brilliant. Well done indeed. Thank you, Nigel. Well done. The winner of the NAF 5-star show hunters. Well done to Ella Pybus and Just Murphy II.
Well, congratulations there to Ella. Once again, just a huge thank you to everybody who is getting in touch from around the world. Loads in the UK. We've got Pam watching in Berkshire, Shannon Wiltshire, Zara in Yorkshire, Audrey in Cambridgeshire, Lee in Cheshire, but also lots of people watching from Australia. Australia seems to be huge, which is excellent. We're going to get more of your comments, of course, but Joanna Anderson, who's watching on YouTube, just says, this is brilliant. Keeping the horse world united. Absolutely, Joanna. And a big favour to ask of you guys as well, if you can hit that share button, whether you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook Live, hit share and let everyone know that they can get involved and they can enjoy this world-class sport for the next 5 days. We're going to be taking our first trip to the world of international show jumping a little bit later, just a few minutes time in fact, but for those that have been lucky enough to visit the actual Royal Windsor Horse Show and have a wander around, you'll have seen just how many staff and volunteers it takes to provide such a world-class event. But to let you into a little behind-the-scenes secret, you actually only see a tiny percentage of the team that are on site. There's people literally working around the clock, and I can tell you each department becomes like a well-oiled machine, and not to sound too cheesy, it's a little bit like meeting up with a distant relative each year. Now, I know I'll definitely miss the TV crew I work with there, but if you've competed at the show, then one group you definitely know are the stewards. And by the magic of technology, Nick Brooksward has managed to bring some familiar faces together.
Welcome to Virtual Windsor. And here we have 3 of the senior team that deliver the magic of Royal Windsor Horse Show when it happens. We've got Sebastian Garner, the chief steward. We've got Edward Benyon, the chief steward of the Castle Arena, and we've got Philip Judge, and we just don't know what he does. So we're going to find out about that in a few moments' time. And the whole principle of this is to discuss the success, and it really is a huge success story, of Virtual Windsor. And we've just been hearing over 4,000 entries from South Africa, from New Zealand, from Germany, and of course from Great Britain, celebrating the magnificence that is the Royal Windsor Horse Show, and sadly, obviously not happening this year. I'm just going to go around the house and we'll see where the conversation takes us. But first of all, let's come to the man of the moment, the chief steward himself, Sebi Garner. Sebi, what does Windsor mean to you?
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Well, Windsor is just unique. I mean, there is no show anywhere in the world that can equal it, in my opinion. You have got the fabulous backdrop of the castle, beautiful gardens of Her Majesty the Queen, and to be in her back garden, I think, is a great honour for anybody. And I think it's especially poignant that she has continued to support the show right from the outset when it was first born. But I have a great team of guys and ladies who support the show year in and year out. And without them, my team would not be able to put the show on as it is. And I think it's a credit to all those. And you must bear in mind that they're all volunteers. They give up their time, they give up their holidays to come to Royal Windsor. And it is their pinnacle of their year. They start talking about it the day they leave until the day they arrive back. And sadly, we will not be there. Today would have been the day when we'd all be arriving and getting ourselves set up. And rehearsals would be going on for the pageant. And we would be going through the class times and everything else and having lots of meetings beforehand. So there's a tremendous amount of work goes on before the show starts.
Absolutely. Eddie, you actually probably have the hardest job in the world there, because you have got everything coming into the castle ring and it runs like clockwork, doesn't it?
It certainly does. So I was interested when you said, what does Windsor mean to you? To me, it means the most stressful week of the year, without a shadow of doubt. But it's also one of the most fun weeks of the year. And it's a great show, as Sebi said. It's a great show. It's a wonderful atmosphere. It's one of the early shows in the year, which is outside and international jumping. So you get the best of the jumping. You get the best of the riders from the world. And it's unrivaled. And of course, we mustn't forget the Shetland Grand National, which is obviously always taken part by Mr. Philip Judge.
Well, it certainly is.
Which is the highlight of the Castle Arena week, of course.
Well, it is. Judgy, exactly what do you do?
Obviously, I come in the week before in the old trucks and bring the hay and straw in for the wonderful competitors and all the stuff.
You'd have been delivering today, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have been delivering today. It's always fun. It's great to see Renoir. It's great to see Harry, Alex, everybody in the team. It's a wonderful atmosphere.
And Nigel, don't forget Nigel.
Nigel's always, I can never find Nigel. Can you, Sebi?
Nigel's short.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean.
But what do you do, Philip?
On a serious note, I come there and I'm like first I came to help Sebi out when he was very poorly one year, and unfortunately he couldn't make it. So I took his role on to help him, because he was very poorly in hospital, if you remember. And I ended up feeling that it was a great role, and I stayed really on, a complete squatter. So but yeah, I enjoy just the whole week fully because of trying to entertain people and have a crack with all you guys. It's an amazing team. People don't understand the organisation that goes from now, Nick, and all the hard work you and the teams do in the office to make those few days so special for everybody else. So I try and help that, and then obviously, if there is any emergencies and straw needed anywhere or anything need doing, I'd like to think I'm always on call there for you boys and team and horsepower, So, and I do help Sebi with his showing championships and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as what do I do, I'm a bit. I'd be technically known as a floater, needed, go when I'm needed, if you like. So, and of course, I go down to the endurance.
Okay, round the thing. Your highlight of the Royal Windsor Horse Show, Sebi.
There isn't really one, Nick. I think every moment is a highlight. It's hard to put a thing on it. I think the pageant in the evening is probably a fantastic thing. But, you've got all those lovely showing classes throughout the whole of the show. You've got the Copper Horse, you've got the Adelaide, you've got the Frogmore, and each and one is individually unique. And it attracts crowds, and I think it's lovely when Her Majesty comes down, very casual. She turns up and she sits there and watches her showing classes, and everybody's there and everybody's very relaxed. And I think it's just unique. You can't really put a highlight on those things. If I'm going to be honest, my Shetland Pony Grand National, but that's being biased. But there's a lot more that goes on. And I think it's all part of the team that puts it together.
Yeah, and don't forget the Land Rover International Driving Grand Prix. And yeah. Edward, you said earlier, talking about the greatest show jumpers, with one of the world's richest Grand Prix, the Rolex Grand Prix, €500,000 is on offer. Just how pressured is dealing with those superstars in the world?
It is pressured, but actually, when you're dealing with the superstars, they know the rules so well. They're actually easier. I much prefer that than the some of the amateur classes where they don't know the rules. But you talk about the Rolex Grand Prix. I mean, that is you want a highlight of the show. For me, that is it. That is the best of the best of the best in the most sensational environment, and you can't get that. You can't beat that.
No, you can't. And the services as well, that's pretty special on the Saturday.
It is. And there's a lot of people, mainly amateurs, who come together and come from all corners of the British Isles and come together to make a really special competition. And I know it's one of Her Majesty's favourite, which she introduced, and it's always it can be a bit stressful at times, but mainly because you've got so many people on horseback in the collecting ring at the Castle Arena. You can have, I can't remember how many people it is now, but on horseback. So there's no margin for error.
No, there is no margin.
I think the other one to also remember, which I think we seem to forget about, is the lovely coaching. The coaching.
Yeah, the coaching marathon is very special, and so is the private driving as well. And we'll be judging those in virtual Windsor over the next 5 days. Philip, your special memories?
I think the whole, let's face it, HMQ 90 was just a remarkable period of time in our lives. It was just the organisation, the numbers, the participants. I have never, ever had a week of sleeping probably 2 hours a night and carrying on. And the work involved, and HMQ 90 was phenomenal and must go down as one of the history books as the most intense weeks of my life. It was amazing. Obviously a highlight, I always love helping Sebi with the Shetland Grand National. It's a wonderful thing for Bob Champion's cancer stuff and everything else. That's amazing. And to race those little Shetlands, those little leg things around the thing, and have the crack. Windsor to me is totally family, love and fun. I work at obviously other shows like yourself, Nicholas, but in all fairness, let's face it, the one in May there this week, highlight of my year.
Certainly is. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to everybody in virtual Windsor. Sorry we won't be seeing you, but everybody, let's raise a glass and stay safe. Stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Take care.
For the Judge International.
Well, thanks there to Nick, and of course all those stewards. They're all such a huge part of the story at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Leslie Chubb said it's making her a bit weepy listening to the wonderful stewards. Missing you guys. Keep safe and well, and we'll see you next year. Thanks for your comment, Leslie. Remember, keep hitting that share button. Let all your friends know they can join us for Virtual Windsor. We're here for the next 5 days. We've got Zanetta watching in South Africa. Chloe Chubb says, well done, this is fantastic. Joanne Heap says, qualifying for the Royal International in the Queen's back garden last year was the best feeling ever. Well done for pulling this together. The team at Horsepower who organised Virtual Windsor have done such a tremendous job over the last few weeks to put this together. So thanks to them, thanks to you for watching as well. And we're going to be heading back to the virtual show ring for the workers and the amazing horse and hound class a little bit later. Oh, and if you like shopping, then at about 1:45, we're going to be showing you how fudge is made and turning you into a wine expert as well as part of our daily shopping fix. For now though, it's time for the first of our 2 international jumping competitions of today, and we're going to be heading to the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes back to 2018, and this is a competition that every year just attracts a stellar field. It normally provides a cracking jump off as well, so let's pick up the action where I'm joined in commentary by John Garner. With eagle eyes will have noticed Nick Skelton keeping an eye on Laura as she was warming up. Laura Kraut will be getting us underway here today, representing the USA. Relatively new ride on her string, this one by Kotoki. It is Catwalk 22 and Laura Kraut that gets us underway.
Kotoki, the ride of German ace Philipp Vaushat was one of my favourites. Just a really lovely model of a horse, and he's starting to, you see his progeny now starting to come out into the ring at the upper echelons of the sport. It says a lot about the horse.
Well, Laura picks up the ride on this one just literally a few weeks ago. Took it out to Oblabeek, jumped some nice clears there. Still really getting to know it though. And this will be the biggest test that she's jumped with this horse so far in their partnership. So John, you've had a chance to have a walk around this course, and I'm sure now you'll give us that full guided tour.
Yeah, I'll hope it matches what I've walked. All right, so we're going to start off at fence number 1. It's just a nice sort of get-on oxer, although it is wide enough. Catwalk giving it a lot of air. Gallop around the turn here. And again, another wide-ish oxer just to get going, and then onto the first technical line. First the double combinations, upright in, oxer out, 1 stride, 4 strides strong, and then a steady, quiet 2 oxer upright. Now we're going to have a bit of a gallop around right in front of our commentary position here. It's a lovely jump. And onto Big Ben with a very delicate plank. And now we've got to roll back around. This is an area where you could make up a bit of time if you felt you were a little behind the clock. Simple up right now. Laura cuts inside, jump number 5, and then up to the next technical line. 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strides. Another Oxer upright 1. Press out over the Rolex Oxer. She rode that beautifully. And then coming around now to start the approach home. 5 strides. Nicely done.
Yeah, absolutely. 75.48. You can see that big pat. That's the biggest she's jumped with that horse so far. And made it look fairly easy today. Laura Kraut catwalk gets us underway for the USA. I think that line from 8 to 10 is really interesting, because if you get a bad stride coming into 8, you don't have too much space in there to make a correction all the way down there.
Well, and that's why you call them related distances, because everything is related to everything else. So the jump in is critical. You can just see this is a great shot down, right down the pipe here. Catwalk staying nice and square. Signature Laura ride nice and still. Little press there with the elbow to say, go on, son. Great effort.
Well, first to go, first clear here in the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. Now we go to Ireland. This is Bertram Allen riding for Ireland with Izzy by Picabello. Such an exciting time for Bertram. He's really establishing a great string at the moment. I mean, this one's been jumping at 5-star levels. We've seen him in the World Cups at Bordeaux. We've seen him jump various Grand Prix as well. And of course, under this format, we're now looking for a second clear to guarantee a jump off.
Just the sheer quality of the field, Adam will be getting a jump off. The question is whether it's going to be a big one.
Yes.
Really stayed on the hunt down there. That was nicely done. You have to be a little careful not jumping in too big and strong. That 2-stride will get tight. To settle up there, so easy 7 strides. And you can just hunt around here. You want to get balanced. Can't take this jump for granted. And again, you're going to drop inside here. Saw something just off the corner.
Just caught his eye, didn't really lock on, and he had no chance there of correcting that.
I think it's the Swans, maybe. He's not a fan of the Regal Birds there.
Those Royal Swans, and I'm afraid that second disobedience does mean the end-of-the-road elimination for Bertram Allen and Izzy by Picabello. I mean, I've seen that combination jump so many times. I know you have as well, John, and it's certainly not like them.
No, but it just tells you how quickly it can happen. I mean, you know, again, he's not necessarily the most experienced at this age in this environment. Bertram himself has got a lot of miles. But just see around the corner, he takes a peek there, and he just had a moment of doubt. Completely caught Bertram by surprise. Well, he'll be buying some swans, I think, and getting them on the farm.
A real unique fence, that one. Let's go to France now. Olivier Robert standing in the wings and about to get underway with Tempo di Paban. Olivier Robert is a rider who featured in the World Cup final in Omaha, Nebraska last year. He's been running a long time, started at the age of 6 in Bordeaux, and this one was 5th in Paris in the Grand Prix there just a little bit earlier in the year. I've also seen Kevin Stout ride in the past as well. He rode at Hickstead last year.
Very exuberant style. Look at the hind end there. Just jumped himself into trouble though. Quite flamboyant with his technique, isn't he?
Yeah. And that big jump and hang in the air, if it's a related distance or a double, as you said, John, it can get them into trouble.
Well, and you're then reliant on the horse to do some of the work to back themselves out of it. Because as the rider, if you just keep sitting back and pulling on them, they'll resist, because their natural instinct is to go on and take on the jump. But you do want them to do some of that work for you, to come back off it, create that gap for you. Just a little disorganized around the turn. See how hard Olivier has to work to get him back and settled.
And it will just be the one rail that falls, so finishes on 4, 74.92. France's Olivier Robert, Tempo di Paban. He had to work really hard around there at times.
Shows you how important the flat work, the dressage is. I mean, you know, you can just focus on the jumps, and obviously the jumping is very important, but you've got to be able to get to there. Let's have a look here. You know, I mean, he just really couldn't get himself out. Never had a chance with the back legs to really finish off that arc.
A little bit of disappointment there, I'm sure, for Olivier Robert of France. We've got plenty still to come, though, in our field here this afternoon. Total of 30, 27 left. And now to the United States of America, Lauren Hoff and Waterford. A partnership we saw jump yesterday. And I saw them in New York for the Masters there just over a week and a half ago, where she finished top 6.
A lot of Irish blood in Waterford. Comes by his name, honestly. Horse that likes to gallop along. You see how he twists his way out of the jumps. It's a little unorthodox, but what it shows you is that the horse knows where the fences are.
Yep.
Good course for Lauren, because she does like to get on the hunt. She likes to keep that pace, stay moving forward. A little tap there, but got by with it.
I think that's why she's had so much success with Ooh La La. They're such a great partnership.
For sure. Once a horse that you really got to stay on the gallop, generates the scope from the speed. Got all the work done early, but had to dig himself out of there. Now she's just wrestling a little bit, get around the corner and bring him home.
Comes down towards this final oxer, clears the last there as well. 73.59. We will be guaranteed a jump off now. 2 players both representing the USA. Lauren Hoff alongside Laura Kraut, making up the clear round list at this early stage.
Well, those 2 ladies have been anchors of Robert Ridland's United States jumping team for a long, long time. And this is why. Great effort there from Waterford. Almost jumps a little bit in 2 parts at times. You know, gets his front legs up and out the way, and then word travels back to the back, and off we go.
From the United States of America now to Ireland. Peter Maloney from Waterford in Ireland brings us today D'Atlantique Royale. This is a horse that Francois Massy has done so much with over the years, from World Cups, placed here at Windsor, placed in Grand Prix, but Peter took this horse from him about a year ago and had a nice win with Bolesworth about 3 or 4 weeks after joining forces together.
Big model of a horse, D'Atlantique. Ordinarily you'd expect them to be a little bit colder, but this one really does carry a lot of pace. He's a very blood horse for as big as he is.
So some nice breeding in there by Udarko and Cannon.
It's too bad. Again, they just carry through there, and that distance, like I said earlier, can get a little bit snug. Jumping that delicate plank very nicely over the top of Big Ben.
They've got some real nice, unique fences here, haven't they?
Yep. Yeah, some obstacles coming from the London Olympics, of course, and then others that you keep developing as you go along, as the River Thames. And he's got himself settled down now as Peter. Always things to work on as a jumping rider. As we like to say, if you're not winning, you're learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be frustrating for him today, though. Just finishes on 4, 72.89 for Ireland's Peter Maloney, D'Atlantique Royale. So 5 gone, 2 clear at this stage. He heads into third as the fastest of the 2-4 falters.
Let's have a look here. He jumped in very strong. And yeah, just those front legs, couldn't get them folded up just quick enough.
But we'll see him come back. He's got a couple of nice horses with us here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Here's Francois Matty coming next. Represents Belgium here. He's produced so many horses over the years. This one is Una de la Roque. Francois Matty sits on board. Like so many of these horses, he's produced this one up, you know, right from the young horse classes. He's a great producer.
Oh, he's just so patient. He's got the right attitude for it. He sits so still and quiet for a big man. Maybe a second row forward on a rugby field.
Yes. I think on the positive, you've got those big long legs to wrap around the horse, but also you need so much core strength and balance when you're that tall. Something that we've never struggled with.
Oh, you mean the lack of it?
The lack of it, that's what I mean.
That would require going to the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Oh, you got by with it there. He just cut across that corner. Uno just cheated a little bit, going right to left. Nice gallop on down there on the 5 strides. Dig out. 6 stride. There we go.
The fact he's produced this means he knows it so well. He's taken it from the young horse classes. He's now jumping 5-star Grand Prix, jumping World Cups. He was lucky there. But he does jump that final fence. 73.69. Francois Matty for Belgium goes through with Una de la Roque. So that means we are now up to 3 clears at this stage. A little bit lucky at times round there.
Yeah, a couple of taps here or there, and got by with the one corner that they cut off, but Francois will be very happy with that. Nice press out over that last jump, number 12.
A nice pat there as he exits here in the Kingdom of Bahrain stake for the King's Cup. 63,000 euros in the prize fund now. We're off to Great Britain now as the crowd applauses for Will Funnell and Billy McCain by Kevin Zed. Got cruising lines on the dam side as well.
From one great producer of horses to another.
Oh, absolutely. And he's done so much for British breeding as well.
I mean, I tell you, in many ways, he probably put British breeding back on the map.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Second part comes down as well. So sits on 8.
We're just starting to see now, Adam, whereas yesterday there were almost, it seemed like almost every horse was jumping clear. The rails are starting to come down. You get a little bit of greenness in these horses at this level with a Bob Ellis course. You're going to have some rails down. He's a great tester of the rideability and the control. William going around there. Looks like he's even calling that a day.
Yeah, I think he's going to decide that, you know, that horse has done so much. He doesn't really need the winning experience. He wasn't in contention anymore, and he wants to save that one for another day. So Will Funnell of Great Britain retires with Billy McCain. Here's that line.
Yeah, I just peaked a little bit, never really got over the top of the jump, and then was always struggling at B. William had to really ride on hard down here to get the 4 strides. The little grey horse makes a heroic effort there to get out, and I think in Will's mind, just jump a few jumps, get him feeling calm, and then tip your hat.
Staying on 3 clears then from Great Britain. We're off to Canada now. This is Tiffany Foster and Brighton. This one by Contendro. Quick star lines. And Brighton, another one that's been part of so many teams in the past, part of the gold medal winning team at the Ocala Nations Cup. Gold medal in the Nations Cup at Langley, up in Thunderbirds last year as well.
Tiffany now, along with teammate Eric Lamars, is just a real key component of Mark Laskin's Canadian team these days. Really reliable.
Yeah, over the last few years, Team Canada's just been growing in strength to strength.
We're starting to get a little bit more depth. And again, when you've got a rider like Eric, he's not just a great rider. He's really helpful for these younger athletes, especially when they go ply their trade in Europe. He's been monumental in Tiffany's development and continues to help. But Tiffany now herself is a great jockey in her own right and making her own mark. She's done great things herself for Canada in a very short space of time. Becoming a very strong rider.
She's also a lovely person as well.
Oh, she's fantastic. Always got time for anybody. Always got a smile on her face, but really understands the sport. Constantly developing horses. Her and Artisan Farms doing a fantastic job. There we go.
Yeah, all the way, 75.94. Tiffany Foster and Brighton representing Canada gives us our fourth clear round number 4. So we've got 2 from the USA, 1 for Belgium, and now 1 for Canada.
Really nice horse for Tiffany. Gives her every effort, very quick. Doesn't over jump the jumps, which is nice, conserves energy. Gives her a super effort, and she will be very slick in the jump off. This horse can really fly.
Moving now to Petter Fredriksson of Sweden, the Olympic individual silver medalist from Rio, individual gold medalist in the Europeans last year, and also part of the team that picked up a silver at the Europeans last year as well. He brings forward H&M Christian K now by Nameless R. He's 4th in the World Cup at Olympia with this horse. Top 10 in the Rolex Grand Prix of Geneva as well. This is a real big Grand Prix Nations Cup type of a horse.
You know what's funny though, Adam, is this is one of those horses that, quite frankly for me, when you look at him go, you go, I could just throw my leg over this one, and I think they have a great time with it. It looks like so much fun. Gives you great efforts all the time. It's fantastic expression on his face.
Yeah.
And just look at that gallop. And he's not such a big horse. Peter's a big guy, really tall. But he sits so nicely on the horses. Really covers the ground for a little fella. Slick around that turn, bringing him home.
Some real fast ones heading through to the jump off. He definitely fits into that category. 73.09 and clear for Petter Fredriksson of Sweden with H&M Christian K.
Right in the prime of his career too, at 11 years old. He's going to be one to watch for a number of years.
Really clean through the back end. You see, just flicks up over there.
Just see how it just shifts a little bit though from left to right, anticipating that turn. Something that as a rider you always have to be mindful of. If they get cheating too much, you can lose the back end and the rails will come down.
Emily Moffat now trains with Ben Mayer. They were out walking the course together, and she brings Don Vito, now representing Great Britain. She's quite a recent addition to the British team. Her dad British, mum's American. And she has been training with Nick Skelton and Laura Kraut, but as I mentioned, now with Ben Mayer. And although she's only been jumping for 4 or 5 years competitively, John, I mean, she's such a young talent. Just had an unlucky rail there.
Yeah. So one of the great things about this sport is youth is nice to have, but you can. There's a reason why a lot of the champions are just a slightly bit longer in the tooth.
Yeah.
It takes some time to learn the craft. But when you've had that kind of coaching, it'll stand her in good stead for the future. There's no doubt about it. Strong ride there.
couple of nice horses as well at the moment, Madam X and Hillfinger. And I think when you're 19 years of age, jumping in this atmosphere, these 5-star competitions against some of the best in the world, to come home with 8 faults and just a touch over the time, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No, not at all. Like you said, it's learning. You're always learning in this game.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah.
And they off it there for Great Britain. Don Vito will finish on 9, 76.50. Let's have another quick look at what happened there, just coming down to the first part.
Yeah, just didn't quite fold quick enough, and then a long way off of there. Emily knew that though, jumping out over 8 over the swan fence. She had to press on a little bit. Just didn't quite get the gap closed enough.
Now to the unique jacket of Yuri Mansour, 38 years of age. He's got 2 horses with us here throughout the weekend. This is Inferno. It's an 11-year-old. Quite a good story about this horse as well, Johnny. Produced it in Poland, and Yuri brought it out for the first time last year. Was travelling back and forward, and in their first competition together as an international partnership, took the Bunleisure Vase at Hickstead.
That's a nice way to start, isn't it?
It's not bad, is it?
No.
You can only go downhill from there.
I'd be tempted to retire from there. Okay. I'll go out undefeated. I love how Yuri just gets in that forward seat, puts on the gas, and off he goes. But just look at his body, he barely moves. Just stays balanced. Oh, down it comes.
First time we've seen that fall, I think.
Leg nice and steady, always got that balance. Balancing through the leg, through the hand, keeping that gallop moving forward, and then just allows the horse to jump up to him.
Those planks sit in such delicate cups as well, so all you've got to do is breathe on them when they come down.
Well, it's a tough break for Yuri. Hopefully we get to have a look and see what happened there.
Jumped a nice round other than that. Finishes on 4 though, 74.91 is the time for him. Drops him down into 7th place at this stage. Let's take a look.
Yeah, tough to see from this angle, but my sense is, again, maybe just got a little bit too close. Inferno looking like he's trying to swing his front legs out of the way, as opposed to really coming back, and so that makes me believe that he was just in too close there. Tried, couldn't get it done.
Alberto Zorzi standing by and about to get underway with Elaine.
Oh, you've gone with Elaine today?
Elaine today.
Yeah, okay.
This is a nice 10-year-old horse, and I noticed though when he was coming in through that in-gate up towards the swan fence, the horse just had a look and thought, oh my God, what is that? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he gets there.
We're going down the river. Oh, another one coming down 4A, 3A, excuse me. I think it's easy to be thinking about the technicality of the inside part of that line.
Yeah.
And you can just lose the bending line approach. Bob's given him the opportunity to basically get to it however you want. He's put it behind him.
Excellent, jumps it nicely.
No problem at all.
And the nice thing as well is he just rode it nice and quiet as well.
At 9A coming down. The back rail of that. So 2 rails on the floor for the Italian.
Yeah, he finishes on 8 today, 74.53. Alberto Zorzi for Italy with Elaine. With so many still to come, I think he might just be pushed out of the placings.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's have a look here.
kind of bounce type.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looked to be a little bit off the base of it. Got a little bit long, hit it on the up. And almost hit that one with his belly again, a little bit off the base of the jump, got a little flat. Started to come down, got it on the descent.
Well, we can hear the crowds, and he certainly is one of the favourites. This is John Whittaker. He needs no introduction. He's been such a great ambassador for the sport of show jumping here in Great Britain. And, you know, at the age of 62, I think he's riding now as good as he ever has.
Well, that would be hard to believe. This is a horse with incredible scope, a big, strong type. And think of all the different types of horses that John's ridden over the years. But his style and technique has just never changed.
This is one he's produced himself. So top sixes finishes at Hickstead and Chantilly last year. We actually saw him in the Windsor Grand Prix here last year as well. But not a bad round.
Just took his time there, got him balanced. Looks a little bit, for me, Adam, when he really has to just sort of keep going, that he can get a little bit loose with his legs. I think the more organised John can keep him, the better he jumps. Really pressed him in there. Great ride, just see a little bit there, a little bit of an extra leg there on the left-hand side. Saying, come on, son. Get him back.
So just working hard through the distance.
Wow, fantastic. He is something else.
And that's something the crowd will appreciate as well. 74.42. Clear for Great Britain's John Whittaker, a horse that he's produced up through the national system as well. Won the Fox Hunter second round at Hickstead, went on to finish fifth in the Fox Hunter final at Horse of the Year show. The crowd love him, and quite rightly so.
Now he really put the pressure on there at that upright, daring Cassini. Give him a super effort behind.
On to Steve Gurdat we go, the individual Olympic gold medalist from London 2012 Games. Corbanian's the horse that he comes forward now. Started this horse in the 8-year-old classes. They've had wins at Olympia, 4th in Gothenburg a few weeks ago. And again, one of the very best in the world. World number 9 at the minute. And I think those world rankings are almost tougher than they ever have been. If you look at Kent, he was number 1 for so long, and a few weeks off due to injury, and he's been pushed down to number 2 already.
It's a relentless grind, Adam, to keep those world rankings up there. There's so many top events throughout the world. And another one just catching their foray. But for a rider like Steve, he's been to the very top of the mountain. Olympic champion, world number 1. With his great horse Nino. Just developing now this next group. Steve 2 rails down, he's just taking his time. Give the horse the experience. For me, you just have to pick and choose your times where you either keep going or you're, like we saw with William Funnell earlier, where you tip your cap. I think there's always things to be learned.
And that just depends on the horse you're riding, the stage of its education, how it's been going.
For sure.
Today though, 8 jumping 2 time, 10 is the total. It's 81.65 there for Steve Gurdat representing Switzerland with Corbanian.
Speaking to course designer Bob Ellis during the course walk, I asked him, I said, what do you think? He said, well, I don't think I'll get 16 clears today.
Yeah, in the opening competition here at Royal Windsor, you had rather a lot of clears. But in a way, I think that was nice. You just let the horses get in, get settled, jump a nice round and set them up for the weekend. At this stage of play then. 6 clears is what we have. Laura Kraut, Lauren Hoff, Francois Matty, Tiffany Foster, Peta Fredrickson, and of course John Whittaker. It's another Whittaker now. It is to his nephew William. William Whittaker's next. Elishanata Vant Mullenhof. This is a horse that Joe Clee jumped in the FEI Young Horse classes. William's had it now for a couple of years though, doing some very nice things with it.
Part of the real great future of British show jumping, William.
Compared to the other Whittakers of his generation, he had a bit of a different start because his dad Ian rode till he was 25, but then moved on and became busy with other things. You think, you know, Robert and
Landscaper.
Yes, yeah, that's
but just the same character as every other one of them. Great fella. But a very composed rider is William. To be honest, that 4B hasn't caused as much trouble as I thought it would do. It's only come down a couple of times. We get a little bit hot. But that was a nice ride. We just balanced right into the base of 8. Knowing that then he could ride and gallop up a little to 9 and close the gap moving forward. Those are the little pieces you have to really know what to do with your horse on the course. How one part begets the next.
Well, he gave that such a nice ride today. Just a touch steady as well. 77.53, so it's 4 jumping and 1 time fault. And again, I think that's another decision as well. If you have an early rail, depending on your plan and the horse you're riding, you can either push on and get a fast 4, or you can think, well, actually, I can afford to steady down here, have a bit of a school.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably William's mind is thinking that, you know, there's probably not going to be room for 4 faults at the end of the day on the leaderboard. And you just have to stick with what you know you need to do. You just see there the chestnut, again, just didn't quite back up for him.
Well, we're going to stay with Great Britain now as Ben Maher comes forward, 35 years of age, former world #1, here as a rider, but also as a coach as well. And this is Jacques III.
Interesting name.
Yes.
I like how you put the soft je on there.
I'm trying to make it look French, so trying to get out of trouble there quite quickly.
Well, you're only reading, Adam. There's only so much you can do.
Exactly.
Ooh, he really worked hard there, did Ben. Likes to go this one.
There's a few riders in this competition that are a real exciting stage of just building up that string. You know, he's got this, he's got Winning Good, Tic Tac, Serrana.
You're hearing that a lot, quite frankly, in the warm-up ring, talking to the riders. There's a lot of them that are in that sort of in that mode where they've been rebuilding. They feel like they're getting close. Maybe another year away. And that's probably one of those areas where just that little bit of experience, I'll say with Jackass.
Yes. Just the one then, just the one for the Olympic gold medalist, Ben Maher. Jackass the third. Finishes on 4, 74.10, heads into 8th at this stage.
Well, Ben made really sure down the first line, 3AB, that he got the Grey's attention, and I think probably just there thinking, okay, we're there, getting towards the end here. He's settled, and just let him be coming into 9. He jumped 9A really well, and we've seen so many of them close those gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. William Vermeer now for Belgium. He's got a really busy few weeks. He's off to Wiesbaden next week for a few days. Then he goes straight on to the CSIO 5-star in St. Gallen. This is DM Jacques Motti that comes forward next. It's a 9-year-old. Started this horse internationally when it was 6. And it's nice to see, these riders coming towards the top of the sport and still producing their young horses.
Yeah, you have to, Adam. It's really the only way you can get it done. It's so difficult to even find horses of this quality that are even available.
And semi-affordable.
Well, I think yeah, okay, that's part of it, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're difficult to find. They take a long time to produce. And at the end of the day, if you've got something that's of that quality, you want to jump it yourself. Very aggressive there. He's gone inside the Rolex clock to jump number 8. There's a horse with an awful lot of lift. Head and neck stay upright. Just watch him up here over the Rolex oxer. The head almost doesn't move. Ordinarily you'd see the sort of head drop down a little, the shoulders come up. But it stays quite upright. A little stiff through the shoulder, but an awful lot of push from behind.
Yeah, a little rub coming down that line, but he recovered so well. He juiced the horse up from a youngster, now riding it in the 5-star Grand Prix, in the World Cups. He was clear in Oplebeek a few weeks ago, and he is now clear at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, 76.94. See this little rub here.
Yeah, see, again, just with that, how he's built a little bit in front makes it that much harder, but he compensates so well with what he can do behind.
A man who's ridden in 6 Olympics, 6 World Equestrian Games and 13 World Cup finals. Rodrigo Pessoa rides for Brazil, Umenig.
And an undeniable legend of the sport.
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing he hasn't won.
It's in his genes.
I sometimes wonder though, Adam, if that's not harder, for a rider of or an athlete of any sport, when you're parents.
I think it adds pressure.
I think so. Well, I think it can. You have to have a certain mentality to be able to even get into the sport, I think, never mind carry it on. And there's only so much of it's going to carry on. You got to do it yourself. Rodrigo might have had a start being Neko's son, but at the end of the day, he's Olympic champion, World Cup final winner on his own. And now guiding the Irish show jumping team as well. He's got a full bag on.
And I have to say, he's making such a great job of that as well.
He just understands the sport so well. And if you were an Irish rider, you'd be chomping at the bit to listen to what he's got to say.
Without a doubt. 8 jumping 1 time today for Rodrigo Pessoa. 76.13 time in round number 1. Staying on 6 clears. Laura Kraut, Lauren Hoff, Francois Matty, Tiffany Foster, Peta Fredrickson and John Whittaker.
Let's have a look here to see what happens. Front legs again. What that tells me is that, again, just didn't come back. Really jumped in big. That was just unlucky. I mean, it's one of those things where half-inch difference there.
Doesn't take much at this point.
No, it takes nothing.
Well, now we go at Tsukino Connor. 1 Olympian to another. The man who also took individual bronze, team gold at the Europeans last year as well. And he brings Alexro to this one. The old rider Lubov Kozhetova. Lubov had it at the Winter Equestrian Festival. And Kian took over the ride ages ago, about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, a lifetime.
So still very much getting to know each other.
So practically developed it from a youngster.
Exactly, practically.
You negotiate a line like that, and you're just talking about how little time they've spent together.
Yeah.
Scary to think what's going to happen. They get some time to understand each other.
I think this is such an exciting prospect for him. I mean, he took it and he went straight to the Madrid GCT and finished top 10.
Yeah, there's, you know, just sometimes, I mean, you see a horse, you try it, you fit straight away.
When you ride as many as Keane does, I think you'll have to sit on it for a minute or two and you'll get a feeling right away.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where the experience comes in.
Yeah.
Just those couple of little things here or there.
As this relationship develops, this is going to be an exciting one to keep an eye on. Today he will finish on for 73.78.
I think what's happening a little bit, Adam, is jump number 8 is getting them backed up a little bit, and they're being a little cautious over that, which is making the gap to jump number 9 just that little bit harder to get there. They're not wanting to really gallop on down there on the 5 straights for fear of the out part coming out.
Sure.
Look at that. I mean, rolled its way back into the cups. Yeah, just reaching there. Came off the front rail very well, but then couldn't cover the back.
Well, we've seen John Whittaker, we've seen William Whittaker, and now we see Robert Whittaker. His dad, John, already clear. And now Robert Whittaker, 35 years of age, joins us representing Great Britain. And this has to be one of his top horses at the moment. This is Catwalk, 15 years of age, by Coleman.
And this horse can do absolutely anything there. I mean, you cannot build the jumps big enough. He can jump houses, but it's whether he can stay focused. Seen him jumping at Spruce Meadows a few years ago. All the quality in the world, but he can lose his focus.
Such a versatile horse as well. You know, he's jumped everything. He was jumping in the Hickstead Derby last year. In the same years, he also jumped Nations Cups.
Yeah.
Winner of the Barry & Pearl Stakes here as well at the Royal Windsor Horse Show just a year or so ago.
I don't want to jinx him, but it's just looking like he's starting to mature a little bit. Robert's not having to override and overmanage him, allowing him to jump. Making it look easy.
Yeah, if he stays clear down this line, it'll be a real contender when we get to the jump off against the clock. Going to add some pressure on as he jumps the final one. 71.99 clear for Robert Whittaker, and Catwalk representing Great Britain.
He's taken some time with this horse, but you know, Robert's patience and belief in him, just keep going to it the well.
Really stands off there.
Yeah. The difference is now, see, he's got his focus on the jump, but focus in a positive way. He's still on the bridle, still taking him.
Yeah. We head now to Lorenzo De Luca, and Destiny represents Italy. Based at the Steffek stables in Belgium.
Asked him yesterday, so how's it going, Lorenzo? Could be better. So I can always be better. He said, no, it really could be a lot better. I'm not jumping many clear rounds.
Well, hopefully this is the first
well,
time.
You know it's not going to last that long.
No, exactly.
He's too good of a rider. Any athlete's going to hit a slump at some point.
Front rail off that.
Front rail behind. Thing is, the information of how this course is riding, we know is going to be filtering back to the warm-up ring. So the people are being told that, you know, that line's getting tight. You've got to watch the front rails. You can start to overcompensate a little bit. jump 9A coming down as well.
And we'll finish on a 74.66 there. Lorenzo De Luca and Destiny representing Italy.
Well, frustrations continue for Lorenzo, but
it's not going to last for long, is it, as you say, John?
It won't, I say. He's too good.
Sort of rolled that out the caps.
Let's have a look here. This is a great camera angle here. Again, another one. So again, I think just not getting there, closing up the gap. So hitting them when you hit a back rail of an Oxer on the way down, just tells you haven't got the close enough on takeoff.
Well, Great Britain already got a couple through. We're now going to Laura Rennick. Laura, who jumped nicely here yesterday, comes with a different horse today. This is the 9-year-old Top Dollar. Darko lines involved with this horse. Top 10 finishes in Paris earlier in the year. Won the 6-part Olympia in the past, and she brought this one all the way up from being a 3-year-old.
Oh, big rangy type, isn't he?
I have to say, there's not many types Laura can't ride.
Oh no, she's a quality horsewoman. Great program.
It's difficult to see from that angle. I'm not sure if she was just quite straight coming in there.
Well, I just looked like he stuck a little bit and jumped hard right too. Getting quite strong.
Oh, it's drifting to the left.
Just making up a little bit of room there for the big fella. I'll have to ask her about that, if that was the plan. Well, okay, so that's interesting there, Adam. He's got a real big stride, so she just floated down there on 4 strides.
Yeah.
But not something that you can do a lot of the time.
No, absolutely. I mean, he covers the ground just so well, that horse. Laura Rennick, Top Dollar, finishes on 4 jumping in a time fault as well, 76.05.
Well, she looked like she come around okay, but yeah, he just stalled on landing, and then really did jump off to the right. It looks like he does that a little bit. It's quite slow through the air. You know, he does. He's quite a deliberate jumper.
Sort of looks like when you get up, you'll feel like you're never coming back down.
Yeah.
At the moment then, 7 clears is what we have at this stage of play. Emanuele Goriano of Italy comes forward now with Casper. It's the horse he took to the Rio Olympic Games, finished 7th in the Grand Prix at Olympia. It's his World Cup final horse as well, and again another one who's produced this up from the young horse classes. Italy got a couple of really strong riders at the minute. He's got 3 horses here this weekend. He's got Chalou, Carlotta and Casper. Casper's by Berlin.
It's going really well. I mean, he looks like his dad, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
A lovely gallop. I said it yesterday, it makes so much difference when you've got a horse that just rolls through the gallop. Makes the jump so much easier to find. It's quite busy in the saddle. Yep. Casper giving a great ride. Oh, time fault.
76.03, time allowed in this one, as we know, 76 seconds. So it is 1 time fault for Emanuele Goriano and Casper. And again, depending on the horse, I mean, a little bit frustrating, but I mean, the horse jumped such a nice round for him.
It's just a couple of steps here or there. Great expression, though. Right. Look at that effort. Wow.
Yeah, and he just used a bit more room than some of the other riders have used. Khalid Halal Al-Qatari now. Certainly no stranger to the Royal Windsor Horse Show. He was 6th last year in one of the opening competitions. It's a horse he's taken to World Cups in the past as well, and already good placings at venues such as Alin and Abu Dhabi in the Middle East. Well, BDF's the horse he brings forward. It's by Kidam Diraval. Another fantastic stallion.
It took a real long turn there from 1 to 2 all the way to the rails. First one we've seen do that.
He did that yesterday as well.
We'll have to watch, see how he's doing on the time. Kicking out there over A and B. Just caught up with him there at jump 4B.
You often find that in the double combinations, that the error comes from the first part if you have the second part down.
Yeah. Nice, honest type. Stays on the gallop, not too fussy.
He's having to work hard.
Yeah, you can see that coming, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Adam?
absolutely. A couple of strides out.
Yeah, from the moment he landed, he was asking him to come back. He never did.
Again, that time allowed just coming into play now. It's 1 fault for every 4 seconds, or part of 4 seconds, over the 76, so it's 84-24, and a total of 11 here for Khalid Halal Al-Qatari and Awal BDF, representing Bahrain today.
Well, you had to think the time was going to be an issue for him, right
from the word go.
From the word for go, like you said. Easy for me to say. Try using words, John. Oh.
Just took that out with the
no
roots.
chance.
Yeah.
When you hit underneath the top rail on the way up, you've got too close.
Yeah, exactly. Just arrived there a little bit earlier than he'd hoped for, I think. 7 clears at this stage. Not many left to come forwards here in round number 1. We're back to Great Britain now. Guy Williams comes forward with Dalton De Hoyo by Kashmir Van Schaterhalf. Another one who's always quick against the clock when he gets through to the jump-offs.
Oh, he's so fast, isn't he, Guy?
Based in France these days, but still travelling over to all the top events in Great Britain. I think if we had to pick one line, that seems to be the one that's caused the most issues.
Well, again, I think it's just one of those things where you don't see it so often, so it's not something you really practice. But it is I would say, well, I think you said it when we were talking earlier, it's a signature Bob Ellis move. And again, not something you're going to see at every single one of the events that he builds up, but he will throw it in there. And it's a rideability test.
What I like about Bob's courses is he always makes them testing for the rider, makes the rider think, but there's nothing trappy in there for the horses.
No, he rarely overbuilds. That's too bad.
Yeah, just not his day, I don't think. 78-28, total of 9 for Great Britain's Guy Williams. Dalton De Hoyo. I'm sure he's one we'll see in the Rolex Grand Prix later here this weekend.
Just flicked behind there. That was an interesting one. He carried his arc past the apex of the jump, and he did the same thing there with a little bit more damage this time.
And just carried that rail with him.
Yeah.
There's Eric Lamaze then representing Canada, as he's done on so many occasions. And this is Shako Kid. He finished 8th in this competition here last year. He had 2 wins at the Windsor Equestrian Festival. He's really, really on form, and he found this horse through Simon de Lest. Simon's father had been training the Colombian team, came across this one and thought it'd be perfect for Eric.
Oh, absolutely right. This horse is a firecracker. Seems almost the harder Eric rides, the higher he jumps.
Yes.
I mean, look at that technique. He's like a little ball. I mean, you don't want to say too much, but it's the closest in style and technique to his great Hickstead, just in the way he goes.
He sort of says, let me at them, let me at them.
Yeah, and Eric's having to work to keep him back off, but just generates the pace. Eric always on the forward. Makes such a difference, you know, for riders, you know, learning the sport. Time allows these days are so important, and you've got to be riding at that pace.
Slight touch as he comes down towards the penultimate effort, but he is clear, and I tell you what, that'll be one to look out for in the jump off. He's never here to make up the numbers.
Well, we're getting down to that bottom end of the draw that you talked about off the top. They will be quick. And like I said, the thing with Eric is that's how he rides all the time. So that's normal for the horse. So it's not something that he's going to be uncomfortable with when it comes to the jump off. He had to work a little bit harder around that turn. Chaco Kid closed the gap on him.
Well, he's off to get organised, and we are going now to Robert Smith of Great Britain, 56 years of age now, and this has been a great servant to him over the years. It's a 10-year-old called Ilton. He's had so much success. He's taken this to some of the very top venues around the world, you know, to Aachen, to Hickstead, to Dublin, to Spruce Meadows as well. And that's that same line coming into play once again.
Yeah, Robert just having a look at the scoreboard there. He wasn't sure whether it'd come down or not, but it has. When you see something like that happen, it makes you think that he really didn't hit it that hard. A real exuberant type of horse. Very flamboyant jumper. Another one stalling a little bit. Didn't like the swans.
I think this speaks to the ups and downs of show jumping, because we saw him yesterday and he finished 4th in a jump-off competition.
Yep.
You could see in his face there that even as he landed, he really had to work down that line to make the distance.
Well, the horse is still thinking about what was in front of him is now behind him, not necessarily thinking about now what's in front of me. I'll tell you, as a rider, it keeps you honest.
Yes. 4th yesterday in the competition. Today he'll finish on 14, 99.60 there. Robert Smith and Ilton for Great Britain.
Well, I think the horse show could do a nice little auction on those swans now.
Yes, they're such a unique fence.
There'll be a couple of buyers interested.
And really off the back, I mean, not necessarily something you think would cause so many issues.
Nope.
You see it really kind of fighting, and he did everything he could to straighten up there. Well, we have now just three combinations left to go in round 1. 8 clears is what we sit on at this stage of play here. It's the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. You can just see in the back of the frame there, world number 2, Kent Farrington, who's had a few weeks off due to injury. And Robert Smith saying, come on, pal, I'll give you a little lead in there. And here he comes, representing the United States of America, Kent Farrington and Credence. And what a horse this is.
What do we talk about the jump off now and how fast this one's going to be if they get through the first round?
Yeah, I mean, you've already got people like John Whittaker through, you've got Eric Lamaze through. If we can add him to the list, we're going to have all the ingredients. As I mentioned, he's had time off due to an injury. He really had a bad break of his leg at the Windsor Equestrian Festival. This is his first show back.
It was horrific, the break.
You could almost call it a smash, I think, rather than a break.
Gosh, just awful, awful.
And you've seen the scar.
Oh, it's yeah, Kent showed it to me yesterday. It's just, I mean, it's enough to curdle your stomach. And then the story, you know, tells about, but his rehab is, go online and follow him. It really is quite the story.
Yeah, if you go onto Facebook or Instagram and search for him, he's done a video where you can see that rehab process. And I mean, he is an athlete. He trains like an athlete, and he's worked so hard, you know, training 2 or 3 times a day over the last few weeks just to get that fitness back, get that strength back.
We saw him coze around yesterday, and looks like he hasn't missed a beat. And it says a lot for his horses and his program that they, you know, they really don't need much to get back out at and get back at it. Credence looks like he hasn't missed a day.
No, absolutely. And this is one when he sat on it for the first time that he knew it was special, because actually, since it was a foal, it was absolutely tiny. And the person that sold it to him was actually a bit embarrassed, because when Kent went to try this, it was still young, playful. It went bucking all the way around, and Kent still said, yeah, it's for me, I'm taking it. 73.92 clear the United States of America. Kent Farrington and Credence will feature. It's going to be one heck of a jump off.
I'll tell you, get your popcorn, get your feet up. This is going to be a beauty.
2 left to go. Let's take another look at just how talented the horse is, and also how talented Kent is. You could see him really focusing and concentrating on down that line.
Well, again, working back, like, let's Credence get out of the double, take a couple of strides, then listen up, focus, stay here, and then go.
Well, we know they come back in the same order as they jump clear in the first round. We know Kent Farrington's going to have a very good draw, but there could be 1 or 2 sitting underneath him, and Scott Brash could come through with this one. Representing Great Britain even, he comes forward with Hello Jefferson. This was brought out originally by a Belgian rider called Charlotte Philippe. It's only been to a handful of shows with Scott. This one has got a nice big stride. Jumped the Grand Prix in Kronenberg just at the end of last month. The top 10 finish there. It's that line again.
Yep. You have to rely on the horse a little bit too in these. This is very much a gymnastic line for me. Combination, 4-stride combination. I always believe that you teach the horse that I'll get you in, you have to get us out.
You have to get out, yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole partnership piece. Another promising younger horse for Scott. You were saying that you know, just redeveloping these strings of horses, a lot of these riders, and that's exactly where Scott feels he's at. He's close, but maybe a year away,
which would set us up nicely for Tokyo.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's been a difficult time for the teams in Great Britain recently, you know, with no team for the European Championships, but focusing on WEG now, focusing on Tokyo as well. But today he will finish on a total of 7. Scott Brash, Hello Jefferson for Great Britain, 84.49. Mr. Cool.
Again, program driven. He's got a program and he's going to stick to it, and nothing is going to change his way. You see there, he just left Jefferson there to figure it out himself, and he'll be better for that experience now. He'll learn that.
One combination left to come forward in the first round, sitting on 9 clears at this stage. And we finish with a man who had a very nice victory yesterday with his horse. Aquita van Zorgvele, last to go for Daniel Deusser of Germany. Horse he's had for 2 years now. It's a nice double clear to win in Bonheiden earlier this year.
And he's got the right draw again. Remember, we were talking after yesterday's class, and he asked me if I thought Eric could have caught Daniel or could have gone faster. I said, well, if Eric had gone after Daniel, yes, I think the answer would have been.
So I think Eric will have that in the back of his mind when he comes in.
Could well do.
I think your job, if you have an early draw on the jump off, is to add the pressure on.
Yeah, you have no choice. At this level, you just have to go.
And you can only do as much as your horse can do.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes you look at a course and you go, this really sets up for me. It sets up for my horse, so we can go give it a shot. Just look how well he rides and handles his horses down these lines. Immediately, Akita's back on the bridle, back on the leg.
Yeah. Comes down towards that final fence, jumps that clear, pressure's on, game on. It is 73.67. Daniel Deusser of Germany goes clear with Akita. This has all the ingredients to be an exciting jump off.
Watch out.
Now we've whittled it from 30 all the way down to 10, and you know, I still couldn't call this one. Such a super horse this. Let's take a look.
Well, I mean, he's a very good horse, but with an incredibly talented jockey on his back, and that is that's a combination.
Well, 30 combination starts in round number 1 here today. The Kingdom of Bahrain stake for the King's Cup. A lot of prize money in this one. Also, world ranking points involved as well. And it is a total of 10 combinations that will be coming back for that jump off against the clock. Any favourites in there, John? Anyone you're going to be looking out for?
Well, I think you mentioned it, Adam. I mean, it's still a bit of a pick 'em, but I mean, quite frankly, I think it really heats up. You get into the bottom half of the draw. You know, early on, I think Peter Fredrickson is going to be one to watch out for. Tiffany Foster could be quick enough with Brighton, and but then for me, as you start to get into those last couple, I don't know in the end whether John or Robert will be able to go quick enough. Quite frankly, on flat speed. You know, they might need some help on a rail here or there. Eric, you know, is going to be lightning quick, and but those last two.
And there they are.
Yeah.
Kent Farrington, Daniel Deusser.
It would not surprise me at all to see 3 lead changes in the last 3 horses, quite frankly.
But I also think at the other end, Laura Crichton could come in with Catwalk and actually put on some pretty tough pressure.
No question. There's no question. And again, all of them. I mean, Lauren Huff is as quick as they come.
Well, for now, though, we're going to send it down very quickly to Hannah Wilkes.
Thanks, Adam. Now, you talk about exciting partnerships in the jump-off, and one man you never want to write off against the clock is Canada's Eric Lamaze. Eric, how are you feeling ahead of this?
Well, I'm in a good position. I'm towards the end. I got this little fellow behind me, Kent Farrington, which has been on a rest due to an injury. So I'm sure he's fairly hungry. He's an incredible rider and he's very fast. So it makes it an easy strategy. You know, just go as fast as my horse can go and I'm going to have to take some risk. And hopefully those risks are risks that are going to pay up.
And how's the course for the jump-off looking? Because it looked a little bit technical in the first round.
Well, you have 1 turn, 1, 2, and then it's pretty much a race. It's a straight race up and down the ring. So I think a big mover like Daniel Deusser's horse has an advantage in this jump-off. Not that he doesn't have an advantage as most of them, but today a big mover I think has an easier way in the jump-off. But you never know with these things. You finish with a vertical. Every time you finish with a vertical, anything can happen.
Anything can happen indeed. Well, best of luck to you. We can't wait down here. Adam.
Thanks, Hannah. Great to hear from Eric Lamaze as well. And John, you can tell Eric Lamaze spent most of the winter in Florida. He's wrapped up down there like it's about to snow.
Well, I got to tell you, Adam, it feels like it might snow, quite frankly. Freezing here.
Well, as Eric said, there's a couple of technical lines at the beginning of the jump-off track. Then it is a long gallop. All of these horses are fast, all are experienced, and all are more than capable of taking a win. This is going to be exciting. This is going to keep you on the very edge of your seat, but the stage is set, and we are ready for the jump off in the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. This is the lady that will put the pressure on. She's going to be our pathfinder today. Laura Kraut, Catwalk 22 for the United States of America. You ready for this, John?
You bet. It wasn't lost on me, though, Adam. I've seen that little grin on Eric Lamaze's face before. I'm talking about that. Hey, just see how fast we can go. He'll be quick. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off jump number 10, the Rolex Oxer. He'll have changed dimensions a little bit, and then we got a sharp right turn. This is what Eric was talking about. This is the turn. New jump number 14, sorry, then 15. And now we gallop down here back to jump number 8. This is again another roll back. You got to take a shot here and then gallop on. Jump number 9A and then roll back 3AB and then run to home.
You can see arms and elbows all the way down.
Oh, she did it.
How did she get away with that? 38.99.
I walked that and I was like, oh, that's a sort of a normal 7. I wonder if they'll be really trying to come on 6th there coming home. And that's what was on Laura's mind, but never got there. Well, that was some effort.
I think those big pats are saying, thanks for the help.
Thank you. Thank you, pony. Thank you for being a pony.
Catwalk 22 there. Sets a standard, 38.99. What an amazing start there for Laura Kraut.
Wow, look at that.
Balloons up.
Well, and that jump, I mean, let's put it in perspective, Adam. That jump is every piece of meter 55.
Yes.
So just think about that.
Plenty more to come forwards here, absolutely. This is going to take some beating now. She landed over the Swans as well in about 20.5 seconds. So that'll give us an idea if they can stay clear at that stage. Right, let's get underway once again. We're staying in the USA. This is Lauren Hoff and Waterford.
Now it's just about taking more risks. She was a little bit tighter there, but slightly slower mover across the ground is Waterford.
So 20.5 seconds as she lands over this fence here. A little bit of time to make up.
Yeah.
Now what's she going to do down this final line?
I don't think she can get there on 6. I think she has to do 7.
First part comes down.
Yeah.
And she will finish on 4. 38.81 is the time as well. Time was good, but she finishes on 4.
Interesting.
I think Waterford's got such a big stride, and it doesn't actually look like he's going that fast. Caught the time, has a reel.
She was a little bit more efficient through the turns.
Yes.
And I think from 9A to back to 3AB, she was a little quicker than Laura.
So that challenge remains 38.99, 20.5 as they land over the Swans. Here's Francois Mathieu and Una de la Roque to represent Belgium.
Well, the first bit of information coming out now will be that the time can be beaten.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It can be done. Nice turn in there.
Yeah, very efficient.
See him setting himself up really early for that.
You know, he's got a big stride, but for me, Francois is just... I don't think he's really chasing, although that was a really tight turn.
Horse just couldn't straighten up as he came round there. It's like he never locked on.
No, I think he just didn't quite understand the exercise. He's coming around the corner, never saw the jump.
He just takes that rail down here now, so sits on 8 at this stage with the refusal and the rail.
Well, you mentioned it, Adam, earlier in the competition about having to be first off, first out early in the jump off of this quality.
Yeah.
You really do have to set a target, and Laura Kraut has done that.
You sort of dare the other riders to take it on.
You do.
Finishes on 12 there, Francois Mathieu of Belgium, 51.95, total of 12. Francois has produced a lot of horses though, and he's got quite a few nice ones here over the weekend. Again, another name that we might just see in that Rolex Grand Prix here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show on Sunday. I don't think it's over though. We've got the time of 38.99. Here's Tiffany Foster representing Canada with Brighton. She knows the horse well, and you know, she goes to big arenas. She's used to letting this horse move forward. When you think of the arena at Spruce Meadows, it's one that you really have to be able to ride forward. You have to have that big gallop stride.
Yeah, and this is a slick mover. Again, Brighton wouldn't have a massive stride, but very quick across the ground and really slick through the turns. He can really cut in. I expected to see her really on it here. Early into the turn, nice there. Now she can just balance up a little bit and then drop in and now put the pressure on. You should be able to swing really quick around here. There, she's got it.
Nice, in touch. She's got to keep up this pace now, just like we heard from Eric at the beginning. He knows the gallop. You've got to land out of this double, and then you've got to do a bit of welly in the belly and push on down the line.
Half a stride, square there. She's got it. She keeps going. She's got it.
Jumps the last, and she is up into the lead. 37.12, almost 2 seconds faster. Shakes her head. Huge pats as well for Brighton. And Canada heads up to the top here in the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. Look at that huge smile as well.
Well, it's just, I mean, when it all comes together like that and your horse gives you the effort, you can't be anything but chuffed. Let's have a look here as she comes around. She's got her eye on the jump already, just holding him out. Not even, she didn't even get square at all. Jumped on the turn and then head home. I love how she just balanced up a little bit. She knew she'd got it done, or she at least got, she was going to be close.
So the pressure's on. 37.12 becomes that time to beat. Peter Fredriksson now, H&M, Christian K. I think now they've got to get that turn round to the Swans, and they've got to gallop down to the last. There's no option.
No. Well, that was great.
That was
what
slick.
A ride.
That was super slick.
Still got the 5 up to 9A.
Don't think he's quite as fast as Tiffany. We'll
Well,
wait
he
and
took
see.
a bit of time there.
Now you've got to go, 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 go.
Oh, he's coming home on the 7.
Yeah, he's had it down as well. 38.84 to finish on the 4 here. Peter Fredriksson of Sweden.
To be honest, Adam, I think the only place that you can actually be quicker than Tiffany is almost the first 2 jumps.
Yeah.
I think if you go a little bit harder at 10 and then more aggressive into the second jump, you might have a shot there, but really, although Peter rode this beautifully.
Got to have that fast stride right through the start gate.
Well, and then the 6 coming home if you can.
Well, Tiffany Foster rode a spectacular round here. We've all got to congratulate her for that. But if this man went up into the lead, the stands are packed, the atmosphere is electric, they will erupt. It is John Whittaker now for Great Britain, Cassini's chaplain. This is a horse that's used to winning at 5-star level. There's nothing that John's not done over the years.
Yeah, he was very quick there.
Love this horse. He's a bit of a chunky monkey.
That's what you like him, is it?
Yeah. I mean, and it can jump. It can jump as well. And he's got about 1.5 seconds now, though.
He's giving him a good ride. And Cassini's giving him a good effort.
It's a touch long through there. And the last. Finishes on 8:40.27 and 8 faults it is there for Great Britain's John Whittaker, Cassini's chaplain. That final line.
Well, the flat-out speed was always going to be a challenge anyway. See him come in here. Yeah, he just, again, ticked it on the way coming in. Really, this one's a bit academic, quite frankly, and dragged his back legs through. That's a tough line when you're trying to be quick.
Yeah.
But it's a set distance, and you can't hurry the 7 strides if you're committed to the 7. And I think that's a really difficult skill.
Risk and reward.
Yeah.
Well, we now go to John's son. This is Robert Whittaker. He is next to go. He will give it a try, and he knows this horse so well. It is Catwalk. Robert Whittaker now, Great Britain.
That was slick. Got a big stride as Catwalk.
Oh, go on. Yes.
Oh, very aggressive.
Now you've got to straighten up here. Nicely done.
He's got a shot.
This one keeping the crowd on the edge of their seats. 10 seconds to get home. And now go, go, go. Opens up the strides.
Oh, he did, and then he settled back again.
Has he? Yes,
He's done
has.
it.
Yes, he has. 36-81.
Wow.
That was special. Great Britain up to the top.
Great ride for Robert Whittaker.
There's nothing that horse can't do. It's jumped the Derbies, it's jumped the big Grand Prix, it's jumped the Nations Cup, and it now leads the way. Robert Whittaker for Great Britain.
Well, we talked in the first round, the maturity of this horse is really starting to come. You see here, Robert got the aggressive shot here. He was able to stand off there, which allowed him just to be organised coming on to 9A. That's really, for me, where he got it done. Because he had to balance back. I think for a minute he was thinking, okay, I'm going to go down there on 6, and realized he wasn't getting there, but made his decision early enough.
Yeah.
Got balanced back, so he got the 7 strides in coming home and allowed Catwalk to keep it up and keep it clear.
Well, it's getting faster and faster now. 36-81. It is Robert Whittaker that leads for Great Britain. We've got Tiffany Foster of Canada now pushed down into 2nd. Laura Kraut for the USA sitting in 3rd, and hold on to your hats, because this is going to be quick. This is Chaco Kid, this is Eric Lamaze. He's got his sunglasses on and he represents Canada.
Sunglasses easy as windshield wipers right now.
Now he's having a look at that turn, because that's the turn they have to be so tight into.
Eric will just be also studying the other places. It's half a step here, half a step there. I mean, you mentioned it, the big mover of Daniel Deusse's horse, and I think that's the same thing as we saw with Catwalk. He's got a really long stride. Chaco Kid doesn't have the longest stride,
no,
but he does gallop hard and gallops quick. Here we go.
Already, you can see he's off and running before he even passes through the start gate. Super slick there.
Look at that, right on the gas.
It's a flat out gallop, goes wide, straight. Oh!
My goodness me. Don't try this at home, people.
He is up on the clock. He's got the crowd alight as he straightens up into the double, just not straight enough. He's going to smash the time.
Look at that. That's ridiculous.
35.45. And they're almost about 1.5 seconds faster. Great try there from Eric Lamaze and Chaco Kid.
He just couldn't quite come around smooth enough for him, it looked like, from this end. This was some ride here. Eric's focus right on that obstacle. Getting him around and saying, okay, there it is. Kept his composure, leg to hand. He just couldn't quite get around and balance through that turn.
Annoyingly as well, he could have taken a check there. He could have put an extra stride in.
It's hard to do though, right? And because in Eric's mind, and I think this is when you operate at the level he does, he's not just thinking about beating Robert Whittaker's time, he's thinking about who's coming behind him.
And he's thinking about this man as well. Robert Whittaker leads the way at this stage. It is Kent Farrington now for the United States of America. This is certainly in with a chance. Credence. You see that almost similar style.
Wow, Kent is just one of those riders again. He barely moves.
He went for a different tactic there, I think. He went a bit wider but kept moving forward.
Kept the pace. Oh, again, when you've got a speed merchant like Credence, he jumps like a cat. Oh, he got by with it.
Got away. This is going to be close. Can he do it? 36.81 is the time to beat. Doesn't get much closer than that, does it? 0.03 of a second too slow. There's nothing in it, but he will slide into second. 36.84 the time for Kent Farrington and Credence.
Well, I think maybe those two spots you talked about, carrying the pace and going a little wider to 8, and then also from 9A up to 3A. And again, he just went a little bit wider, took a slightly more circuitous route.
We're about to find out then if Great Britain has done enough to take the win here in the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. Robert Whittaker leads the way. 36.81 is the time to beat. You can see Kent's face just saying, oh, got away with it. And then goes on landing. Last to go then. This is the man that won yesterday here with this horse. Equita van Zorgvele, Daniel Deusser of Germany.
Stride on landing into the turn. Here we go.
Such a nice horse, this one. Let's look at this turn, though. Tight.
Oh, my goodness me.
Nice.
My goodness me, what a ride. Brilliant.
Has that turn done it for him?
Well, he's given himself, I think, a little bit of breathing room.
Turns tight back to the double as well, down to the last. If he leaves this up, I think he's done it. Let's have a look. Yes, he has. 35.51. There's your winner. Did it yesterday, does it again today. Daniel Deusser takes the win for Germany. Equita van Zorgvele, right to the wire, John.
Well, I'll tell you, when you see it done like that, I mean, it gets no better, does it? And that's years of training, years of practice, belief in your system, belief in your horse. What a ride. This is just absolutely spectacular. Look at that.
Special. It really is.
He never got even square to the jump for a moment.
That was like half a stride, wasn't it, round and
total faith.
You can put that horse anywhere he likes and it just goes.
But then straight back on the pace again.
And super scopy. Well, we knew it was going to be a special jump off, and it certainly did not disappoint because we had to wait right to the very, very end to get that win. And I think Robert Whittaker might have thought he'd done it, but I'm sure he'd be watching nervously because the way that Daniel went yesterday as well, he was always going to be a contender.
Well, I have to say, I mean, I tip my cap to Robert. He produced a masterful round with Catwalk to really put the pressure on. Forced Eric Lamaze into a mistake. Kent Farrington couldn't quite catch him. I mean, there's a feather in your cap, if nothing else.
Well, there's that full result then. Daniel Deusser then, he takes the win. It is confirmed. 35.51 winning time. And just look at the top class field we had. Robert Whittaker takes second. We've got Kent Farrington in there in third. Tiffany Foster, Laura Crow, Eric Lamaze. These riders have all won 5-star Grand Prix in their careers.
Well, Daniel, your first visit to Royal Windsor proving quite successful so far.
Yeah, how it looks. I was wondering why I didn't come here before, but no, like you say, a win yesterday is a win today. I'm very happy with that.
Robert Whittaker's time looked almost unbeatable, but you managed to shave a second and a half off of it.
Yeah, halfway because I realized that I was quick. I had a good turn back from 1 to 2. Also from 3 to 4, I had a very sharp turn to the vertical. At the end, that was the key to the success today. Robert has also a horse with a very big stride. Naturally, I think my one is quicker.
With your success on Equita, will you now be looking to ride her in the Grand Prix tomorrow?
No, actually, Equita finished her show today. She jumped 1 class yesterday, 1 class today. My plan was to ride Tobago in the Grand Prix tomorrow, who jumped a small class yesterday, and I'm going to stick to my plan.
Feeling confident there? You must be after those 2 wins.
Absolutely. Not only because of these 2 wins, Tobago jumped also good the last couple of weeks, and he's still young, but there's definitely a chance to have a good result tomorrow.
And the icing on the cake of your win today is you get to meet Queen Elizabeth later.
Absolutely. I'm honoured to do that, and I'm looking forward.
Well done again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, such a fantastic win there and a great jump off as well. And if you are a big fan of international show jumping, then do not worry, because we have the 2018 edition of the Rolex Grand Prix still to come a little bit later on here this afternoon. My name's Adam Cromarty. Thank you so much for joining us live for Virtual Windsor, and thanks to everyone who's getting involved as well. Doc Gibson says, what a amazing winning round there. We've got Rebecca watching in Texas, who says great memories of jumping at Windsor 50 years ago. Penny Clifford has been on Facebook saying it's the best outdoor show in the world and amazing to be part of the Stewards team. It's always amazing to have you with us at Windsor, Penny. So thanks for watching, thanks for being involved, and don't forget that we are here all the way through the afternoon. Be great if you can get involved as well. First of all, hit that share button, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Let all your friends know that they can also enjoy this action. And then let us know where you're watching from, what you're looking forward to over the next few days, because we're here for 5 days, and what a variety we have got. But let's take a quick look at what is still to come here this afternoon. Well, we're just about to head back to the virtual showing ring. We've got our workers and also a very artistic, very creative horse and hound class to come at around 2:15 this afternoon. We're also going to be chatting to Scott Brash and asking him some questions that, yeah, you definitely wouldn't have heard him ask before. They're just a little bit bizarre. And then, as I mentioned, around about 2:25, it is going to be the Rolex Grand Prix. But once again, a huge thank you to everyone who is getting in touch. Now, for those that do come to the Royal Windsor Horse Show, then you'll know that shopping is a great part of any day out there. And we had to include it in Virtual Windsor. So each day, shopping manager Pam Swift will be bringing us a great selection from clothes to art, and today it is something to make your taste buds tingle and your mouth water. Let's hand it over to Pam.
Hello everyone, my name's Pam Swift and I run the shopping at Royal Windsor Horse Show. This year, of course, we've had to do something a bit different, so we've gone virtual. Shopping's so important at the event, so this means that you can still get the bargains, still meet the exhibitors and still find products that you're looking for. Here are today's shopping fixes. One of my favourite parts of the show is the Windsor Food Court. This is where you can find gourmet gift food and drink, things like fudge, cheese, flapjacks and gin, all essentials at this time.
That's right up my street. Right up my street.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Unusual.
I really like that. Really nice, really refreshing. Yeah, that one's nice. I like that one. If I wanted to get a cocktail from a bar, it's what I'd go for. The colour appeals to me straight away, and it's really tasty.
Yeah, I love it. It's really, really nice.
I don't even think I've tasted anything quite like it before, but it's a really unique taste. I don't think I've had it anywhere else. It's nice. Surprising. If someone told me that was tea and alcohol, I would never have guessed it was. It tasted like a really nice bar drink.
Alcoholic tea. It's like what Britain was asking for.
I wouldn't imagine someone putting like tea and alcohol together. It's not something I would have thought of.
It's not something I would have thought would go together.
It definitely goes now that I've tried it.
They go really well together.
I thought it would be more Earl Grey and that would just be it, but there was a lot of variety in them that I didn't expect would happen, so yeah, really nice.
I would say they go hand in hand, yeah. People are trying to mix things differently all the time, so maybe it's tea's turn.
Alcohol goes with everything.
Hi, I'm Joe Fattorini from The Wine Show on television, and I'm here with my friend George. Well, he's not here, but he sent me some wines from the Magnum Company. Now, you might know what Magnum is. It's one of these bad boys, 2 bottles, more than twice the fun. But it's quite hard to go and enjoy a Magnum when you can't have lots of friends around. Even more so one of these. That was an afternoon to remember, I can tell you. So what we've got here is a selection of mini Magnums, or as some people apparently are calling them, bottles. I don't see that picking up, to be honest. I've got 3 wines and I've got 3 top tips to help you enjoy them. I'm going to start off with this fella. This is Yalumba Viognier from Australia. Oh, that's good. Now then, this is about £10. It's on the Magnum Company's website. You know the reason why I really like this? Well, I visited the vineyard, and it's in the Eden Valley, and it's surrounded by paddocks and by riding trails, and the best way to go and see it is to go and jump on the back of a horse and have a bit of a trundle round. And you see these gorgeous vineyards. The wine itself, though, if you're looking for something that's comforting, looking for something that's really versatile, nice summer drinking, the apricot. It's apricot and fennel, and it's ripe and juicy. It goes with lots of stuff, lovely summer salads. I can't recommend it enough. Now, see how I'm holding the glass? Top tip number 1. Lots of people will tell you shouldn't hold the glass around the bowl because it warms the wine up inside, but then you should do with reds. Forget that. Sometimes, always, never. Reason why? It just looks better. Who wants to hold their wine glass by the bowl? Hold it by the stem. And you look like you know what you're talking about. Right, rosé. We are now entering rosé season. Second top tip, lots of people say, oh, you shouldn't put ice into wine. Well, with rosé, you certainly should. What you do is, rather than having cubes, you smash it up between like a tea towel, so it's all nice and crushed. And you serve it something like Ike's Rosé from Provence. I think it's about £14, and you create what's known as a piscine, like this French swimming pool, and it makes the most gorgeous summer drink, and it lasts a very long time. You can sit outside, it's refreshing, and drink it all afternoon. Rosé. Part of the joy of rosé is how it looks. What's really lovely here is this, what we call it. It's a wild strawberry fruit, slightly herby. There's an element of walk in the woods about that wine. Oh, it's lovely stuff. Beautiful. Ike's Rosé. All of these are from the Magnum Company, part of the mini Magnum offer. This last wine is among my favourites. More than anything else, I get asked, can you recommend me a nice red? Côte de Rhône, every time. But here's a little tip. What you want to find are wines made by the regular wines, like Côte d'Rône, made by the greatest winemakers in their region. And these guys, the Perron family, they make a wine called Chateau de Beaucastel, which is very expensive and staggeringly brilliant. It also quite famously smells of saddles. Slightly sort of sweaty saddle smell to it, and might not be winning you over, but it's genuinely really lovely. Juicy, ripe, cherryish fruit. It's quite sweet because it's far down in the south of France. When I say sweet, what I mean is sweetly ripe, bone-dry, soft, lovely tannins. Last little tip. Here you go. Less than a minute. I'll teach you to be a wine expert. Teach you to be a wine expert. B-L-I-C. Remember those letters. The Blick. Somebody asks you if you like a wine. Well, really good wines are balanced. Balanced between that fruity ripeness and the kind of freshness in the wine as well. So they're nicely balanced. B. Secondly, good wines last a long time on the palate. I can still taste that Côte d'Rône. It's just sitting there. It's lingering. About £13. Really good value wine, that, to that length. Great wines have an intensity. Remember here I said alpine strawberries? Is it red fruits, strawberries, alpine strawberries? How accurately can you focus in on the fruit? And the last bit is complexity. This wine here has leather and wood and spice and fruit and all sorts of bits and pieces going on. It's a complex wine. We can use it to judge wines, but the other top tip, you can just say the Blick. Somebody asks you if you like a wine, you say, well, it's beautifully balanced. Lovely long length on the palate there. Very intense fruit. So complex on the finish. You are now a wine expert. Go and visit the Magnum Company, buy yourself some mini Magnums, bottles or whatever it is that these young newfangled people call them. Have a great time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Well, every single day we'll be taking a little trip towards our shopping village, but of course we are asking for you to get involved, and it couldn't be easier. You can jump on Facebook, jump on YouTube, stick your comments on there. Doug Simpson certainly enjoying taking a little trip down the shopping village today, saying, yum, love my Aussie wines. Thanks for that, Doug. Terry says, watching in Guernsey in the Channel Islands, Rov Royal Windsor. And there's just so much to look forward to this week. We're trying to give you as much as possible from right across the show, and something really exciting is happening on Saturday night. Going to tell you more about that in a little bit. For now though, let's get ourselves back to the virtual show ring and to one of the most entered classes. It's the NAF 5-star Working Hunters. Now, we've got lots of people today watching in North America through our friends at Horse Network, and as you're about to see, if you're from the US, these hunters are very, very different. Keep an eye out for the hedges. So let's hand things then back over to Nick Brooks-Ward.
Welcome back to Virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show. Huge entries, 88 countries, 83 different countries rather. South Africa, USA, Ireland, you name it, Chile, Costa Rica, Sweden. And we are back with our world famous judge. Nigel, you're going to go viral, I promise you. Well, Philip Judge will make you go viral. And we're going to turn our attention now to yet another massive class. It is the NAF 5-star Working Hunter. And Nigel, 224 pictures.
I couldn't believe it when they kept coming in.
Okay, fine. So we're going to do it. Nigel, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mums and dads, he's looked at every single picture. Haven't you, Nigel?
Yes, I promise. I really do promise you, every single one.
Every single one. Perfect. In our NAF 5-star Working Hunter class, different to the show hunters, where we've got a separate Working Hunter class coming up in a minute for our Working Hunter ponies, but these are for the horses. In 10th place, well done to Caitlin Wood and Balcara's Bobby. In 9th place, Amanda Wright and Dungar Quicksilver, over a couple of rustics there. In 8th place, Caroline Arkle and Mouse. 7th place is Bryce Dalrymple and Radahauser Bolero. 6th place, Nigel. You put some from the hunting field, and that makes me very happy in the top 10. Jumping a big hedge there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is just the most amazing photograph. I was determined that we should have some photographs from out of in the hunting field, and Helen Baker, who's on this horse, is one of our most successful top showing riders. And just look at her there. It's. I mean, that photograph could go in any magazine at any time.
Well done to Helen and Terry Toenails. Fifth, another one from the hunting field, jumping the rails, the post and rails. Well done indeed to David Wallace and Toby's Mr. Bottom. Is that David Wallace? It looks like it is, Nigel, from Rosette's Direct.
It is. I didn't know what a fantastic horseman he was. I know his family.
Come on. His father, Lindsay, his uncle, Ronnie, legend of Exmoor, Lindsay, a massive hunting man out of Shropshire. Of course, he's going to be out there jumping fences, isn't he?
Yeah, but what a brilliant horse. I mean, that is flying over posts and rails. When I was hunting, which I did for a long time with the likes of Mrs. Gibson and Tom Hudson, I was petrified of posts and rails. Give me a big hedge any day. No. But look at that. I mean, the most wonderful photograph in the English countryside, and David looks as though he's going for it, doesn't he?
Nothing finer than jumping a big fence across country. I can promise you that, as we both know. In fourth place, well done to Hannah Turndrup and Ficus. In third, now we're down to the top three of your entry. What a beautiful picture that is, jumping in the Frogmore Arena at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Third place is Jenny Keep and Alva's Clot Worldwide.
Yes, I mean, not only is it the most wonderful photograph, which encapsulates the whole of the Royal Windsor spirit, but I mean, goodness, what a magnificent jump. I mean, he's clearing it by a good 2 feet, and yet the rider is going with the horse. It's a very, very nice, powerful horse, full of quality and strength. That's why I loved it.
Gorgeous. Second place. Now that's a lovely picture, isn't it? Justine Armstrong Small with Carlingford's King. Great picture, that, over the beer barrels.
Yes, I mean, Justin is possibly, apart from the late Rory, he's possibly our best working hunter jockey, and she has the most beautiful horses, and this is no exception. It's just a horse and rider in complete, total harmony over quite a difficult fence, and that's why I loved this.
Love it to bits, and very well done. So now we go on to the winner of the NAF 5-star Working Hunter. Congratulations to Rosa Herner Gorman and Lissengal Quilos Diamond. Jumping off a table. Look at that.
What more can I say? I mean, that is just one heck of a combination. Jumping off a bank, and it just is so full of energy and strength and ability, athleticism, and it's a very nice horse too.
Oh, isn't it just? Look at that. Look at the front legs, Nigel.
I mean, well, look at the back. It's just complete, isn't it? You couldn't pick a better moment to show a working hunter doing its job.
So, very well done. Out of a total entry of 224, the winner of our NAF 5-star Working Hunter. Well done to Rosa Herner Gorman and Lissengal Quilos Diamond. Thank you, Nigel. More from the Working Hunter ponies very soon.
Well, we'll be coming right back to Nick and Nigel in just a minute or two. But first of all, huge congratulations there to Rose. Over 200 entries, and she comes out on top. Suzanne O'Brien-Hannon is also saying congratulations on Facebook there to Rose, saying, woo, go Rosemarie. Absolutely. Claire Nutty actually saying the same. Woohoo. Absolutely. Congratulations, though, to everyone keeping in touch as well. Joanne Shaw says well done to Jenny, as does Laura Whittingham. And Anna Kirkland now joining us, and Danielle Coden as well, all enjoying these workers. Now, we have seen the horses, and things are about to get a little bit smaller. We're going to shrink things down as we head back to Nick Brooks-Ward and Nigel as they take us through the NAF 5-star Working Hunter ponies.
So welcome back to the virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show. Welcome back to the one and only Mr. Photoshop himself, Mr. Nigel Hollings, for this another huge class, 233 in the NAF 5-star working hunter pony. Nigel, I don't know how you've done this, but well done indeed for these. Good. I mean, to me, a working hunter pony is everything, because that's what I love. How'd you get on?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky when I was showing ponies. All we had was a show pony and a working hunter pony, and our working hunter pony had to go hunting. It had to do everything. I was reminiscing with Ruth Ilsley, that used to be when we used to go down and stop with the parents for the shows around Bucks County time and things like that. And we used
to Mirror Way.
That's the one. And we used to do the working hunter ponies, and then we used to all go in the family pony class. And then, we'd go in the pony club class. And I'm looking for a pony that reminds me of those times. And they've got to be, as the class describes, they've got to be workers. They haven't got to be just with rugs on, just going out to a show, coming home and things like that. They've got to show that they can have the ability. And the child has also got to be in harmony, because that proves that they do other things.
I couldn't agree more with you, Nigel. And perhaps you could have a word with Stuart, your brother, because you and I both know that Stuart and I completely and utterly disagree on this. Stuart thinks that conformation should come first in a working hunter pony. To me, what should come first is the fact that the pony can look after the child and go all day. But
exactly.
There we are.
I think that you and I will agree. Stuart will argue, Stuart, he'll argue till the cows come home that he's right and we're wrong.
Always. But there you go. That's the privilege of having an older brother, Nigel, as I very well know. Yes, very well done. So well done indeed. Thank you to NAF 5-star for their working hunter ponies. The working hunter ponies, for those who've never been to Windsor before, always take place in the Frogmore Arena. It's packed around that arena. The competition is fantastic. The fences are beautiful. Our own special design of working hunter pony fences and working hunter fences. And we're now down to the final 10. In 10th place, well done to Emily Gaynor-Smith and Elias Melody. In 9th place, Teresa Prentice and Nutroscope Jonathan. In 8th place, Beth Bevan and Tinwan Harry. 7th is Emma Hingley and Boyne Fred. In 6th, Christia Reynolds and Rascality. In 5th, Chloe Dawson and Carnsdale Blarney Oak. And 4th, Alice Wotton and Dykert Welsh Model. And now your top 3, Nigel. They look super ponies, don't they?
Yes, I mean, my third pony is a legend. I mean, possibly one of the most versatile ponies I have ever had the pleasure to either judge or watch. I mean, not only did he do workers, he did show ponies, he did riding horse, he did everything. Sorry.
I was just about to say, I do believe that this was one of the, I would say, the most successful and the highest supreme champion working hunter pony of them all.
I would go along with that, because I've witnessed him and, like I say, judged him just with everything, international horse show, you name it. And the nice thing is about him, he's a blood horse.
Yeah.
And very rare.
Should we put them out of their misery? It is, of course, everybody, Young Dragonara in 3rd, Penny Riders and Ryder Phillips's Young Dragonara. Chris Ryder Phillips used to ride that pony to such great aplomb, he really did. 2nd place. In 2nd place, this is a grey that can jump for fun, isn't it?
I mean, I think this is at Dublin, where when you've been to Dublin, the horses have to perform. But what a lovely photograph of a true worker type, and clearing that fence with inches to spare, looking for the next fence, and that's why I loved it.
ears pricked and jumping for fun. Well done to Gabriel Enright and Ard Fry Remy. And your winner of the NAF 5-star Working Hunter Ponies, oh my word, this is jumping out of their skin, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the expression. The rider has total confidence, a lovely native pony, very athletic, and, you know, jumping in a setting at Hickstead that it just captures it all for me. Absolutely captures it. And I love this photograph.
Absolutely. The winner of the NAF 5-star Working Hunter Pony, congratulations to Emma James and Glenmore Gwynnick. Well done indeed. Nigel, you must have had a smile on your face all the way through those 260 odd entries, mustn't you?
Well, smile is putting it, you know, strongly, but I enjoyed it, I have to say, because even though I'm known as a show pony rider, show hacks, I do love my workers.
You certainly do. Thank you, Nigel.
Well, once again, thanks there to Nigel. Thanks to Nick as well. Nick Brooks-Ward will be back as we get ready for that Horse and Hound class in a couple of minutes' time. Also, the Rolex Grand Prix still to follow just before 2:25 today. But Emma James, you must be so happy, beating over 200 entries. And so much support for you, Emma, coming in on Facebook. Gary Parr saying, yay. Emma Jones, well done. Lots of people saying congratulations. Rosemaria Hearn also saying well done Helen Enright, Gabrielle and Remy. Leslie Chubb says well done Emma James, beautiful pictures. Marianne Russell says well done Chloe. Brian Dunn says missing you this year. Nick, talking about our very own Nick Brooks-Ward as well. Now I hope you're all enjoying day number 1 of Virtual Windsor. Remember, we're here every single day this week, so get us on your TV. If you have the YouTube app, if you've got a smart TV, we will be on there. If not, try and get a cable, connect your computer, because there's so much that you don't want to miss. And this Saturday night, we have something that will blow Britain's Got Talent out of the water. I am so excited about this. Take a look. You are hereby invited to the pageant. Get ready as we transport you back to the Victorian era for a spectacular performance hosted by Alan Titchmarsh and Simon Callow. With displays from around the world and a cast consisting of 500 performers and 400 horses, it wowed sold-out crowds in 2019, and now it's your chance to see this never-broadcast-before show from the comfort of your own sofa. Join us live on Facebook, YouTube, or on the Virtual Windsor website. Yes, we are going to be streaming the pageant. Now, this was not streamed last year. It's never been broadcast before, so make sure you tell everyone and set a reminder on your phone. It's packed full of performers. It's got people on there like Olivia Coleman, Simon Callow, Alan Titchmarsh, who, of course, are all going to be upstaged by those Shetland ponies for the Shetland Pony Grand National. And we want you to host your own watch party and send us photos of you enjoying the pageant from home. And we've got some great prizes up for grabs, including 4 Windsor enclosure tickets for Royal Windsor Horse Show 2021 on a day of your choice, 4 Royal Windsor enclosure tickets for the pageant on a day of your choice, as well as, you know, parking programs and a Magnum of AIX Rosie from the Magnum Company. Now, all the details about that competition are on the website, but make sure you join us Facebook Live on the Royal Windsor YouTube channel as well. 7:30, that's UK time, GMT, this Saturday evening. Now, it is back to the show ring, and this one is fantastic. Some really creative photos coming in. Let's hand it back, though, to Nick Brooks-Ward as we get ready to see the Horse and Hounds.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Virtual Windsor. And we are now going to have a brand new competition because, of course, you're not allowed dogs at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, only those with special passes. But delighted to welcome our judge for the new competition, Horse and Hound, Annabelle Brooks-Ward, my sister-in-law, the driving organiser, master of the Tiverton Foxhounds, and she's had the honourable pleasure of looking through how many entries?
Over 100.
Over 100, 115 pictures of dogs with ponies. How on earth have you judged this?
There have been fantastic entries, and some very cute entries, and some very funny entries. And in order to whittle it down to 10 was almost impossible. However, I decided to go along with the title of the class, which is Horse and Hound. So all the top 10 will be just featuring Horse and Hound.
Horse and Hound. And were there some really funny ones in there?
Some very funny ones.
Were there? Okay.
Great relationships between all our horses and dogs, always. And some of these pictures are funny. Some of them show a true relationship between a partnership between a horse and a dog or a hound. And some of them are just everyday clips of what we all do messing about with our dogs in our yards.
In our horses. Absolutely marvellous. Tell me, no pictures of Boris entered?
No, Boris. Simon said he was a bit overweight.
Boris, the greatest Dachshund bred known to man. Right. Anyway, Annabelle, I'm going to take you down to 10th to 4th, and then you're going to give us 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and everybody's a winner in the wonderful Horse and Hound. In 10th place, you've got Mabel Cable, the Jackapoo, riding Black Hill Kestrel, and the pictures will come up with Victoria Cable. Then you've got Fletcher and Alfie from Mackenzie Preston. In 8th place, Mari Wilson with Branberg. In 7th place, Bethany Hams with Dougie the Border Dun and Linky the dog. Well, that's a cute picture if ever I've seen one of Jack Russell on a lovely dun pony. And then in 6th place, you've got Tamina and Jess. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Lying down in the garden, lovely grey pony like my first pony, and the most popular breed of them all, the Labrador. In 5th place, Danny Thexton, Twinkle and Rosie, the poodle on a Shetland. And in 4th place, you've got Jessica with Ollie and Fig. Now, that's a pretty picture at this time of year with the bluebells. So tell us about 3rd place, Annabelle.
Well, Nick, you'll have to help me with the names because...
Well, you've got Jenny Hackworth, and it looks to me like a lovely German Shepherd puppy. Is that the one?
Yes, German Shepherd puppy and the horse. It's just a very natural photograph of a horse and a German Shepherd looking at each other, who obviously curiosity and friendship between them is obviously naturally there. It's just rather a lovely photograph.
Rather a lovely photograph. In 2nd place, very nice horse this. And in 2nd place, it's Ashmore Sophia, Amy Knight. In 2nd place, that's cute, isn't it? That's an oil painting.
It is an oil painting, and it's a beautifully set photograph. And it's just a very beautiful set. You know, the horse is looking fantastic, the dog's looking fantastic, and they look happy together, and it doesn't look forced or made to. I think it took them hours.
Are you sure that's real? Are you sure that's not something that Philip Collier Dobson sells?
Well, it could be. No, I think it's real. I think it's real.
And the winner of the Horse and Hound is, many congratulations, Rhiannon, with Abba the Corgi, Simon the Australian Shepherd, and Zaragoza the Dutch Warmblood. Absolutely brilliant. What do you think they're talking about?
Well, if you were coming down the centre line and that was your panel of judges, I think you definitely have a smile on your face, and it just genuinely, you open that picture up, and it just makes you laugh. We've all been there, and it's just.
Do you think that Stephen Clark and Andrew Gardner are the 2 best dressage judges in the world? Do you think that's a takeoff of those 2? I wonder.
I'm not sure I'd like to put my name to that.
Well, maybe we'll send it to them saying, could these guys go to Tokyo 2021? Well, very well done. It sounds like you've had a lot of fun judging these.
There's been some great photographs, and everybody's photographs have been looked at, and very, very difficult to choose. There's lots of, fantastically fun photographs, and thank you everyone for sending them all in. It's great fun to look at them. I hope you've had fun entering Royal Windsor Horse Show virtually. this year, as it will be the only horse and hound and dog competition we are able to run.
No, we do have our parade of hounds on the Sunday. You know, those dogs are allowed in at Royal Windsor Horse Show.
Those hounds are allowed into Royal Windsor Horse Show, but not everybody.
Certainly are, but not everybody's. But Boris is, of course.
Well, Boris doesn't come either.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't like sitting under my desk at Windsor.
He doesn't. Anyway, thanks, Annabelle. Have fun, and we'll catch up very soon. And well done to our winners. Well done to Albert, Abba the Corgi, Simon the Australian Shepherd, and Zaragoza.
Well, our thanks there to Annabelle, because that must have been just so tough to judge. But well done to all of the top 10. I know you've all got so much support coming in on social media. Lauren says, well done, Victoria Cable. Equestrian Book Fair Limited says, great photo. Leslie Shield said, that's a cracking pic with a couple of laughing faces. Kate says, yes, Amy Knight, with lots of emojis in there. Cara says this is fantastic, and Joanna Castles, referring to the pageant, says you're absolutely spoiling us, Virtual Windsor. I cannot wait. That's happening Saturday evening, 7:30. Everybody make sure you get it in your diaries. The pageant will be streaming live. Nigel Murphy getting in touch and saying that he found the workers today very interesting, and great feedback from Nigel, our judge, and Country Frog says brilliant. Keep getting in touch. If you're on Twitter, just use that hashtag Virtual Windsor. If you're watching on Facebook, use the comments box. Or if you're on YouTube, it's the little chat window to the right-hand side. Again, though, try and get us on your TV, because we're going to be here for the next 5 days with just so much content. Now, we all know that the Royal Windsor Horse Show attracts the best athletes from around the world, and our very own Scott Brash definitely falls into that category. I don't think any of us will forget that time him and the rest of the team took a gold medal at the 2012 London Games, and I know I won't forget commentating when he took the Rolex Grand Slam at Spruce Meadows, but I had a feeling that you guys wanted to know things that he may never have been asked before in an interview.
So Scott, how old were you when you first sat on a horse?
7.
What's the name of your first pony?
Minstrel.
Who's been your horse of a lifetime?
Alos Sanctos.
If you were one of the 7 dwarfs, who do you think you would most likely be?
Mr. Happy.
You sure about that as well?
I'm not.
What is one of the best books you've read recently?
Tom Brady.
If you weren't riding professionally, what do you think you'd be doing?
I was quite good at football when I was younger, but certainly something sporty, I think.
Are you a night in or night out type of guy?
It's always a night out. I'm maybe getting a bit older now.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Champagne or tea?
Tea. Can beat a good cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit.
Your worst habit?
Chocolate biscuits.
Favourite country you've visited?
Favourite city, I think, Rome.
Your celebrity crush?
Kate Beckinsale. She's hot.
3 dinner party guests?
She could be one, yeah. Sir Jackie Stewart, he's fantastic. You, Ali, you'd ask a lot of questions.
What are your signature dishes?
I cooked chicken fajitas last night, actually, for my staff at home, so I'm not too bad at that now.
What would you have as your last meal on death row?
Steak, probably. Medium. Good Scottish steak.
Do you have any tattoos? We won't ask you that one. Baby shark or Gangnam style? Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Early mornings or late night?
Late nights.
Thank you very much, Scott Brash.
Well, thanks there to Scott Brash. He's never been asked those things before in an interview. Right, we're almost at the end of day 1. It's not quite over yet. Keep hitting that share button, because we are about to go to the world of international show jumping for the second time today. Quick reminder though, we are here for the next 5 days. We've got lots from the virtual showing ring. We've got lots from the world of show jumping. We're going to be turning to dressage for the first time tomorrow as well. And of course, we've got the displays like the Pony Club Games and the Shetland Pony Grand National, all still to feature at Virtual Windsor for 2020. We hope you're enjoying it. We hope you're staying safe, staying it well. And we hope that you're getting ready to enjoy this Rolex Grand Prix. Be like Scott Brash, get a cup of tea, get a chocolate biscuit, because you know, From the minute they start setting this course when we're at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, the Rolex Grand Prix just brings such a real buzz in the air. So let's turn our attention now to the highlights that were broadcast on Eurosport and Sky Sports in 2018. I'll be joined in commentary with John Gardner, but for now, let's hand it over to Hannah Wilkes.
CSI 5-star Rolex Grand Prix. The fences are big and the prize fund is even bigger, with an unprecedented €300,000 on offer, as well as those all-important world ranking points up for grabs. Some of the world's best riders are coming forward in this class, and we really have got a thrilling competition on the cards. So let's join your commentary team, John Garner and Adam Cromarty.
Look at that order of gold. The rider list that is on display here at Royal Windsor is top draw.
Absolutely. I mean, from all around the world as well. You know, got Tiffany Foster in there for Canada, numerous for the United States of America, numerous for the home nation as well, and lots of the top riders coming over from Europe. You know, the field in this one just gets stronger and stronger every year. And look who's going last as well, Eric Lamaze and his Olympic horse, Fine Lady 5. It's a jump-off format that we're going to be seeing here this afternoon. So any tie for first place after round number 1, we will have a single jump-off against the clock. Well, it's a tough test out there today. Certainly deserves to be as well. We're going to Bahrain now. It is Khalid Halal Al-Khaltari and Awal Bidiaf. This one by Kidam Di Ravel. The German-bred horse that was bought by the Bahrain Defence Squad in 2011. He's been jumping some qualifiers for the World Equestrian Games with this horse. I mean, I think this is going to be quite a tough test for him today. I don't think the riders will have been surprised when they were walking this though, John. When you come into a Rolex Grand Prix and you're riding for €300,000, you expect it to be tough, don't you?
For sure. And until you only have to look down the scorecard to know what the course designers faced with the talent on hand. You know, the challenge for a course designer is, I mean, you not even take it down a hole, but you take a couple of shims out underneath these jumps and all of a sudden everybody goes clear.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Let's have a look here. So, need to flatten out there a little bit to get the 5. Work back for the 2. Pressure out 1. 6 strides here. Really good effort.
He has given us a good ride today.
He's got a swing round here. You've got to watch the time allowed. Bob Ellis usually does give you some time. Coming down the final line. We're really appreciative of the effort here in Windsor. Time fault, but clear.
I think he will be elated with that. I mean, this is a tough test. Probably one of the biggest and most technical courses that horse has jumped so far in its career. And to finish here with 2 time faults is definitely an achievement. 76.16, and it's 2 for Khalid Halal Al-Khaltari. Guy Williams is next to go. Rouge de Ravel. This is the same horse he had a good win with here just yesterday.
I'm going to ride Rouge again. It doesn't affect him when he goes fast. It actually makes him braver. You know, he was 5th last year. He done exactly the same programme. So, you know, there's no reason why he can't win. If we get a bit of luck and, you know, everything goes our way, we're definitely good enough to win it, and we're going to try.
And I know Guy said that some horses, you wouldn't jump them in a speed competition before a big Grand Prix like this. He thinks with this horse, though, it actually sets it up.
Exactly. Exactly. We had the same conversation with him. Just he's a real big fan of this this bay horse. So he can he'll just perform day in, day out. He's not afraid of the pressure. Just steady in there. Now a little leg. We've got to work.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. He just got a little too long coming out of that turn. Rouge didn't stay on the line that he was looking for. Oh, tough break for Guy Williams.
67.17. Just the one coming down. Horsehead fence, back bar, off the Oxer. And Guy Williams of Great Britain will finish on 4.
Yeah, the giveaways, you see Guy chasing with the arms there. He knew he was in trouble.
We're off to Great Britain next. This is William Whittaker. This is Tomorrow. 14 years of age. William, a great representative of Team GB, now based over in Antwerp, but still travelling back to all the major events throughout Great Britain.
High hopes for this partnership. Had to work a little bit harder there at number 2. Just spinning a little bit right to left each time. Williams having to reorganize. Oh, he rode that so well.
Just drifting left through there. He's a real technician.
Yeah, he got that line absolutely perfectly. Oh, he's got time on his side. I think he can be patient here. Doesn't have to rush.
And that's a nice feeling when you get to this part of the course.
Yep. Don't have to panic now. Go chase it.
Sit
Come on,
back.
William.
Let it come to you.
Oh, fantastic.
Jumps the last. 69.32 there. Great Britain's William Whittaker gives us our first clear in the Rolex Grand Prix for 2018 here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. How lucky was that?
I'll say, got a little bit lucky there.
William, our first clear round, that is a big track out there.
Yeah, it's a tough course out there. It's big right from the word go. A lot of tricky lines, a lot of questions asked of the horses and riders. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way my horse jumped. Yeah, I hope it stays not too many clears as well.
Here's Robert Whittaker, catwalk for Great Britain. William Whittaker still in the lead. And now Robert hopes to join William. This is catwalk. This is a horse that can pretty much jump any course in the world. Used to be a bit fresh and a bit spooky sometimes, but I think recently, you know, Rob's done a really good job of just kind of calming them down faster and faster as they come into the ring.
Oh, it's the maturity too, I think, Adam. It's just that his time now in the ring, it's more normal to him. And Rob's kept going. He doesn't get overawed now quite so much. And I think more importantly now, Robert can put the pressure on him a little bit, whereas before, when he had to go to the well a little to go jump the bigger jumps, he couldn't quite get it done. Now he can really work him leg to hand. Catwalk stays on the job. And he's just got so much scope.
I think this horse is a definite contender for World Equestrian Games.
Oh, you'd have to think so. I mean, between this one and Cash Scent, he's got some proper jumping horses.
Come on.
Go on, Robert.
Just one effort left.
Brilliant.
Just the last. We have a Whittaker jump off.
Super ride.
Robert Whittaker clear in the first round, 71.14. He joins William Whittaker on Utamara as well. Manuel Goriano standing by, about to get underway, representing Italy with Casper 232. One of the athletes we have here is just back from the World Cup finals in Paris. This is a horse he took there as well.
Jumped a cracking round earlier in the week.
So looking at the ones we've seen so far, John, I would reckon we're going to get about 7 clears. Any estimations?
I'm just going to write that down.
Okay. Looking into the crystal ball here.
Managing the track really well at this stage. A little loose around the corner there, but Casper coming back nicely. We had to press a little there.
Working hard towards the end of that combination. He just ballooned over there.
Well, that started. He got loose around the top end, going into 8. Now he's got himself a bit ragged. He's got to get himself organised again.
The questions come
chasing
so quick.
hard. Good
super.
recovery.
69-61 clear for Emanuele Goriano and Casper representing Italy. And you know, John, around this course there's no areas where you can rebalance and get yourself organised. Here's a man who we saw in Omaha, Nebraska last year, John, for the World Cup finals there. Great rider from France, Olivier Robert. He brings an 11-year-old, Tempo Pabon. 5th in Paris Grand Prix earlier this year.
And another guy that's always ready with a smile.
Yes. Kevin Stout rode this horse at Hickstead last year. He's done a few different things with it. He's done a 6-bar with it. We saw him there at the Hong Kong Masters.
So it can jump big.
It can jump big. And in a straight line.
Well, that'll be handy for 8-9 ABC.
Yes.
Well, jump number 3 there. You have to be so careful with that early on. Easy to take it for granted, thinking about the Oxer coming down at jump number 4. So it's giving Olivier a really good effort.
With this being Grand Prix day, John, when they woke up this morning, would there be any more nerves than any other day?
Well, I think it probably depends on the riders. My sense is yes. I mean, if you listen to Kent Farrington talk or McLean Ward, they both say they get nervous, but it's about managing it.
Yeah. One fence to come for Olivier Robert.
Oh, great ride.
Jumps clear in the first round, 69.99 his time. Tempo de Pabon. Laura right now with Catwalk 22. Laura, long-time representative of Team USA. Catwalk, a relatively new ride on her string, took it over at the beginning of the year. And it's fair to say that this is the toughest test this horse has ever faced. She's been jumping this in the 2-star Grand Prix at metre 45, metre 50 level, so now stepping it up here in the Rolex Grand Prix.
Well, the horse has all the jump in the world. Right now for Laura, it's just getting the rideability. And especially too when you're a rider that likes to go and attack. You're having the control is critical. Wow, look at that effort. Just pecked a little bit on landing. All the scope.
although she's only done 145, 150 competitions, when you're getting used to a horse, it's more about getting used to the control and the rhythm, knowing you can extend or collect.
At the end of the day, you have to trust the scope is there, the bravery and the carefulness. The rest of the stuff you can work on.
Well, she will be so happy with that. 70.05. You can just see that big smile, big pats through the finish line as well. What an exciting prospect there for Laura Kaut. Catwalk 22 for the USA. We turn our attention now to Ireland. Here's Bertram Allen stepping forward these days. Based in Germany at the moment. It's a horse called Hector that he has coming forward. Now this is the one that won the Grand Prix Switzerland in St. Gallen last summer. It's the horse he took to the Europeans as well. It's part of the team that took a gold medal, but he actually decided not to start this horse in the end. But still got the medal. Part of the team. He's had the ride of this since he was 8 years old and been doing an incredible job.
Pulling hard even on the way to the first jump. Bertram just had to be a little bit careful there. Hector looks like he's ready. Looks like he's got him settled back nicely now.
Wonder if this could be his next Molly Malone.
Oh, you really had to work hard there. Nice when you can trust the scope and the ability of your horse.
Oh, little buck.
Little buck there.
And then he just uses that corner to settle and balance. Well, Bertram hold it together.
Just be patient, just be patient.
Yes, he's done it. 70.51. You could see him really just using his upper body down that final line just to make him wait. Nicely done for Bertram Allen, who jumps clear for Ireland. Ben Maher for Great Britain now. This is Tic Tac. What an amazing year they've had so far. Some of a good win at Palm Beach Masters in Florida during their World Cup show. Then went on to be part of the Nations Cup team that took a gold in Florida for Great Britain. This is Tic Tac. Ben Maher for Great Britain. Had a win last year here at Royal Windsor in the Bahrain Pearl Stakes. He's known as Tack in the stable. Tic Tac was still too long.
I was going to say Tic Tac got a little long, did it? Okay, I kind of feel like I need to wait now to say anything before they've jumped number 6. He rode that line very nicely. Keeping a nice rhythm and tempo, galloping on there now. He's going to just ease back a little.
You could see that coming, couldn't you, down that line? It's a real committed line there.
It is. To be honest, I thought he got the job done. I thought Tic Tac just really didn't back up for him as he needed him to. Well, it's a tough break that. The rest was super.
69.12 is the time there. Ben Maher heads into 10th place, second fastest of the 4 falters. A real shame. Ben Maher, Tic Tac for Great Britain, finishes on 4.
I feel confident, but I'm going to ride a different horse on Sunday afternoon. I will ride my horse Tobago. He jumped a small class this morning. Was a little impressed by the arena, but I think by Sunday he will be fine for the Grand Prix.
Daniel Deusser joins us now for Germany. Tobago Z. It's his first time riding here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Already had 2 5-star wins. I think we're going to see him back here again next year.
I would hope so. Very tall man, Daniel, but sits very still, always in control. Easy this first part of the course. Tobago jumping really nicely. We just had to dig in a little bit there.
Well, thought he was going to get away with that.
Yeah. I think Daniel probably felt so too once he'd dug himself out of the double of uprights.
Jumps the last line nicely, 68.84, finishes on for Daniel Deusser of Germany, Tobago Z.
Well, I'll be disappointed with that, as the rest was foot perfect. Just ticked it, yeah, just ticked it behind.
7 clears at this stage. Here's Steve Gerdat, Bianca for Switzerland. And John, what a horse this is.
she is something else.
You had to pick a horse to put in the lorry to take home. It might be this one.
There's one downside to that.
What's that?
I couldn't ride it.
Well, that's also true.
I mean,
it's a great partnership, this, though, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's a magical partnership. She really is something else, but I think it takes a rider of all Steve's ability to be able to deal with her. Maybe around meter 20, meter 30 I could deal with it, but I'm not even sure I could stay on her. Well, she looks pretty calm today.
He's represented his country at the highest level on so many occasions in the past.
Let's see what he did there. He really galloped down to jump number 8. Stayed on that, closed the distance to 9A and allowed her to back away out of it.
Come on, Steve.
Absolute class.
Taking a nice check down there and then just relaxed at the last minute. Perfectly done. Steve Gerdat and Bianca for Switzerland will return for our jump off. 70.38. He's got a couple of 9-year-old horses with us here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Scott Brash and Hello Shelby, the 5th in the GCT Grand Prix in Shanghai, top 10 finish at Olympia. This is a horse that was produced in Great Britain by Emma Stoker. She had the ride since about 2013 and Scott took it over about a year ago. He's been getting to know it really well, starting to have some good results. I have to say, one of my favourite memories ever of commentating was when Scott bagged the Rolex Grand Slam at Spruce Meadows. What an afternoon that was.
That was something special, wasn't it? Something they said would probably never be done. But that second round he rode on Hello Sanctos was absolutely brilliant. World class. A little unlucky there. Jump number 8, front rail coming down. And maybe just a little bit of lack of experience on Shelby's behalf there.
He's another one that's just rebuilding that string. Got some real top potential horses though in his stable. Last comes down as well to finish on 8. Scott Brash for Great Britain, 70.05.
And there, just a little off the base. She stayed a little bit flat with her arc.
3 combinations left to come forward. Peter Fredriksson now, Hansen, WL for Sweden. This one by Hip Hop. He is just back from the New York Masters. Some good placings with his string there. Such an international sport now, John, isn't it? You can be at one point of the world one day in
Shanghai, New York.
yeah, the other day, yeah.
Windsor.
Good for the air miles, though.
Yeah. Air travel's just made it so much easier to get these incredible horses to the different places. They travel so well.
A lot of the top riders as well do tend to have a string in Europe and a string over in North America, don't they?
Yep.
When you're riding at this level, you really need a string.
You can't do it on one horse. It's just, it's impossible. I'll tell you, he's got some kind of ride going right now. Just stalled a little bit on takeoff there. He's been able to carry the pace. He couldn't at that jump, but now he's regrouped. He's got the final line coming back now. One jump left to go.
Come on. Up. Yes.
Nicely done, Peter.
71.53. Peter Fredriksson going through for Sweden. Hansen, WL.
Sweden joining the party.
Actually, the first time I came was just 2 years ago, and I won the Grand Prix. Actually, got to meet the Queen, and yeah, that was a great weekend. So after that, I said, all right, I'm always going to come back here. This is working out well. So hopefully we can hold form. I'm going to give it my best. I don't exactly know what to expect. Kind of my first show back, but I won't fail from lack of effort anyway.
Well, he won it in 2016. He won it in 2017. He is just back from injury. Can Kent Farrington do it again? Kent Farrington joins us now, back to defend with Credence representing the USA. Now, John, 12 weeks ago, he had a bit of an accident, didn't he?
Understatement of the year right there. Bit of an accident. It's just horrific. Showed me the scar the other day, and it's just awful, quite frankly. And the fact that he is back doing this at this level so quickly is, well, I mean, quite frankly, at all.
Yes.
Never mind so quickly.
Well, there's going to be a different name on the Rolex trophy here at the Royal Windsor Horse Show this year.
That's too bad. That Kemp was, I think, really starting to feel that the rust was coming off after every round, feeling much better about things. Credence having to work hard over that oxer coming out.
This is one of his real top horses. It's 11 now by Lord Zed, and he's campaigned this all around the world.
Just look at the pace he carries. I mean, he just gallops around.
Finishes on 4. 70.15 is the time. I thought he might have been able to just clinch that win for a third year in a row.
You know what? But I think he'll be disappointed in many ways. But I think he's also a pretty pragmatic character. So I think he'll be able to compartmentalize and say, okay, you know, I've only just got back here. That will not be the same in a couple of weeks' time.
Or knowing him in a couple of days' time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so hungry for those wins.
Now, we know they come back in the jump off in the same order that they jump clear in the first round. There's one man left to go in the competition, and if he jumps clear with this horse, boy, that will add some pressure on. He is super fast against the clock. It is Eric Lamaze. He is last to go with his Olympic ride of Fine Lady 5. Represents Canada here in the Rolex Grand Prix.
You know, he just quietly goes about his job and just seemingly having magical season after magical season. And you said it, if he can bag the clear round and put himself in pole position, the pressure the other riders will be feeling is going to be immense. Fine Lady looked superb earlier in the week. And Eric does such a good job of managing this mare. 16 now.
If we cast our minds back to last year, in the jump-off of the Rolex Grand Prix here at Royal Windsor, Kent was leading in the jump-off. Eric came in, jumped clear all the way down to the last Rolex fence, beat Kent by 2.5 seconds and had the last.
Oh, my goodness me. Beautiful ride.
Could this be his
Having
year?
to work here, asking for a little. He just knows what buttons to push and when to push them. Go on, Eric. One to go. Come on, girl.
He's
There
done
we
it.
go.
70.32. Eric Lamaze for Canada. Fine Lady 5 will progress to that jump off against the clock. That's going to make the other riders very, very nervous. Well, we start 30 combinations here in round 1 of the Rolex Grand Prix at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, and it is a total of 10 that will come back for that jump off against the clock. William Whittaker gets us underway. Utamaro. Now you can see William coming in, having a look round, just reminding himself of the turns that he will have found when he walked the course about an hour and a half ago. This is going to be a good pathfinder, John.
Yeah, so William's job is to go and, set the target. But really, he's got to worry about himself at this stage. He can't give any thought to who's coming behind, because if you're not careful, you end up doing more than you really can.
Good
That was
turn.
good. That was a very good turn.
Really slick.
Across the arena to the old number 1, coming back. And then back around to jump number 8. Now he's giving himself a little bit of room here. 8 strides down to the B and C. Now he's going to gallop around to the swan upright.
Straighten up nicely.
And then the final line. 12A.
It dares you to gallop down here.
8 strides.
Nice.
Come home. Job done.
46.07. Job done indeed for William Whittaker. Utamaro sets the standard for us. 46.07. So that's the time to beat. The pressure's added on for our remaining athletes. And that's really your job when you come in first in the jump off. You've got to add that pressure on. You've got to dare them to take the chances and the risks. Well, now here comes his cousin, Robert Whittaker, already on track. This is Catwalk the 4th.
Oh, he was quicker there, I think. Got a big ground cover in stride. Catwalk doesn't necessarily turn quite as quick.
Think about neck and neck as they landed there.
Yeah. They're going to be close. Here's a good turn right
This
here.
is tight. This is tight.
Come on, Robert.
Now go.
Now can he get a...
Straight gallop.
Go on. Go on.
It's gone, and look at the time as well.
Wow.
He smashed that time over 3 seconds faster, 42.87. Heartbreak Hotel at the last, though, comes down, and Robert Whittaker will finish on 4.
He had to take a bit of a swing at 12A because he was just sort of wandering a little bit on the line, but Robert got committed. This was an absolutely brilliant turn here, right out, and then onto the fence here. And you can just see Catwalk, he wobbled a little bit. Robert's just trying to set him up, and he just stayed flat with his back end, didn't flip for him.
Emanuele Goriano and Casper for Italy. 46.07 time to beat.
He'll be quick.
He's always slick around the turns.
Yeah.
Can twist through the air, this horse.
It was nice the earlier part, sweeping turn there. Just balancing back.
He's in touch.
Yeah, I think he's up a little bit. A bit of a slower mover though, Casper.
Slightly wider
A
than
little bit
Rob went.
wider there, yep. What can he do down this last line?
6 seconds to get home.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Jumps the last. He's clear and he's faster. 44.31. We have a new leader. It's Italy that rises to the top for now. Emanuele Goriano and Casper go 44.31. New time to beat. Let's go then to the United States of America. Waterford and Lauren Hoff. A horse that really covers the ground. It's got such a nice big gallop stride.
Get organised and now start to build. Look for your shot. And away. Now come around. Apply the pressure. Keep that pace coming forward. Socks is wide enough.
She can just keep moving like this. She's going to be in with a shot.
There's the 8. Oh! He just pecked a little bit on takeoff there, Adam.
She had a different technique in the turn there. Because this horse has such a long stride, she used a little bit more room coming back to the Swans. Finishes on 4 today. 44.42. Lauren Hoff in Waterford for the United States of America. Heads into 4th place at this stage. 2 clears. Emanuele Goriano leads. William Whittaker second. Robert Whittaker in 3rd.
Tell you, that time of Roberts would have taken some catching. Had he been able to leave that jump up.
This is Olivier Robert of France. Tempo di Pavon. Let's see what Olivier Robert can do.
Well, we know by their nature the French like to gallop and jump.
Tempo is very good in those slick turns.
Horse with a long rangy stride. That was nice. Balance up.
Whoa. Sort of ballooned up there.
Almost jumping too high. He got the line he wanted. Just a bit slower there, I think. Adam.
44.31 is the challenge, is the time to beat.
He's not going to do it, and the rail.
The last comes down as well. About half a second slower. Last fence comes down. Olivier Robert of France to finish on 4. 44.88. I think we might see that Rolex Oxer fall again, you know, John.
You think? Oh, just unlucky there. Caught it on the tick on the way up.
Let's go to Laura right now. It's catwalk 22, represents the USA. We saw just how happy she was when she jumped clear in the first round. It's the biggest test of this horse's career so far. What a story it would be if she could pick up a good placing here today with this one.
Well, she'll pick up a good placing, I've no doubt.
She'll be in the top 10.
Yeah. Thanks, Einstein.
10 making it through to the jump off today, but where's she going to finish?
Well, she's being efficient. I don't think she's going to get the winning time, but my sense is that was probably part of her plan. Oh, she's really flogging on down there now. She is.
Arms and elbows down.
Oh,
Yes,
she's
she's
done
done
it.
it. 43.52.
Made it all the way down here.
She will be made up with that. Laura Kraut for the USA, catwalk 22. A new one for her string this year. She's been jumping a metre 45 competitions. Now she comes to the Rolex Grand Prix and she sets a new standard as well. Laura Kraut there for the USA. And just look at that scope, John.
Yeah. Well, she managed that absolutely brilliantly. Used his massive stride to great effect. And look at the scope, how far away she is off of that. And here's something that's interesting for you. The two fastest times on course, both by catwalk.
There you go. Catwalk for Robert Whittaker and catwalk for Laura Kraut. Thanks for that, John.
You're welcome.
Here's Bertram Allen now and Hector representing Ireland. It's like Carol Vorderman with the facts over here in the corner. It's not over though. Some very quick ones still to come. We know Bertram's fast against the clock. Steve Gerdat's fast against the clock. Don't think Eric Lamaze is here for a hack round either.
Are any of these not fast against the clock?
That's why they're so good, isn't it?
Right. But the one thing they'll have learned now is that there is a stride less to be taken if you can down that final line, or if you can't do that, you better be making up the time elsewhere, which is what Bertram's doing, I think.
He started off at that big gallop stride and he's just kept going.
Well, I think he's just trying to make it up early.
And you take the pressure off a little bit as you come down the final line.
I mean, he has to be up on the clock at this stage, I would think.
So look as he lands
here.
Get up.
Boy, he didn't get what he wanted there.
But he got away with it. Now rebalance.
Come on, Bertram.
Hold it together. And go. The crowd are shouting, go on, go on, go on, as he comes down. Couple of tenths of a second slower than Laura. The last comes down, but to recover after that horse playing around, John.
But you think this, and this is where it got lost for Bertram on this rollback right in front of us over the swans, and then he just couldn't get the shot he wanted for 12. He may have been thinking about doing the stride less down that final line, but he didn't get the ride in he needed. But just see here, look, he has to wait. He really wanted to come round, do a stride less. And then he's fighting down there because he knew the stride wasn't there that he wanted. And down comes that rail.
43.52, still the time to beat. Laura Kraut leads, Emmanuel Goriano second, William Whittaker in third. Steve Gerdat joins us now for Switzerland, Bianca. Now then, this horse can turn, this horse can gallop. And Steve is such a tactician.
This is one of those horses, it seems, though, the faster you go, the higher she jumps. That was nice. Into the turn. Just keep that pace coming. That was great. Easy. And he's away.
Oh. That's a bit of a signature move that we just saw there from Bianca.
That's the difference there. See how he was able to come forward.
43.52 is the time to beat. He jumps that final fence, pushes on through.
Yes.
And he's done it.
Yep.
43.11 there. Steve Gerdat leads the way now with Bianca representing Switzerland. New leader here in the Rolex Grand Prix at the Royal Windsor Horse Show.
Wow, what a top draw performance. I think it's what I'm really enjoying with this course that Bob Ellis has set out is allowing the riders to utilize their horses' abilities. We saw Laura Kraut a little steadier earlier in the course and then just blaze down that final line because Catwalk had a massive stride. Steve Gerdau knows Bianca doesn't have that kind of stride, so he's got to make it up elsewhere. And this was beautifully ridden to that last fence. Didn't panic.
Well, there's our new leader there. And here's our second last to go. Represents Sweden, Peter Fredriksson, Hansen, WL. 43.11, new time to beat.
That was aggressive.
Oh.
I was going to say, it's a bit of a slower moving horse, so Peter's going to have to find some different spots. He tried to make up a lot of time at that oxer, but it's very wide.
This little hop, skip and a jump there. And balances for the oxer. Oh, just really playing down that line. It's not a nice feeling when you come down a committed distance.
It's not at all. Not at all.
44.76 for faults today. Peter Fredriksson of Sweden with Hansen, WL.
I'll tell you, without that rail there, he would have been close.
Yeah, wasn't far away at all.
Well, as he came through the turn, he was really coming in tight to it, and I think just took the pace away as he got right in front of the oxer there, and then he couldn't get the back rail.
Tell you what, John, this is not over. He has a drink of water as he comes in. This is going to keep us on the edge of our seats. Stephanie Foster there just behind him, watching her teammate as he comes in, hoping to take the title here in the Rolex Grand Prix. He was second last year. He never goes slow. This is Eric Lamass, his Olympic ride, final 85 for Canada. You ready for this, John?
I might just have to put my microphone on mute. Right.
If you want to see how to ride a jump off, watch this man.
Well, Eric and Steve Gerdau are such good friends. But when it comes down to it, it's all about winning.
Friendship stops at the gate, I say.
I think so.
Here he goes. Tight and quick.
I've said it before, she's such a quick horse naturally. Eric doesn't have to chase her. She doesn't waste time in the air.
He's going to just have to keep that pace up. 43.11 is the time to beat here. He's last to go.
He didn't quite get the forward one he wanted. Come on, Eric.
Go on, gallop down that final line. 43.11 is the time. Has he done enough to
done
take
it?
it?
Oh, it's down. He's done it again.
History repeats itself. He did exactly the same last year. He comes in, catches the time, 41.82. But there's our winner on screen. Steve Gerdau will take the Rolex Grand Prix at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Here is your full and final result. It is to Switzerland the win goes. Steve Gerdau and the amazing Bianca, 43.11. 4/10 of a second behind, and it is Laura Kraut that will finish in second. But what an exciting prospect Catwalk 22 is for her. Emmanuel Goriano takes third, and the highest placed British rider in the field today, William Whittaker, and Utamara finishing in 46.07.
Yeah, okay, we already jumped a few together and we've been actually close to something big already a few times, but she's still, you know, always somewhere a little lack of experience, and since a little while now I can, you know, feel that the pieces are coming together and that we're getting closer and closer to something really big. We had something big today and we're aiming for more.
Well, Steve Gerdau there, one of the very best in the world and the winner of the Rolex Grand Prix in 2018 at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Quick reminder, we're bringing you the Rolex Grand Prix, the full version. That was the highlights of 2018. The full version of the 2019 running of that event this Sunday. And believe me, that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Once again, a huge thank you to everybody who's been watching today, who has been getting involved, whether it be on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. And tomorrow, we've got another packed day of virtual showing, we've got jumping, and of course, for the first time this week, we'll be taking a trip to the world of international dressage. But we're here for the next 5 days, and if you have a smart TV, you'll be able to get us on YouTube if you've got the app. If not, try and find a cable to attach your laptop because you want to watch in comfort. Especially when we get to Saturday night, the pageant, that big one. It wasn't streamed last year, it's never been broadcast before, and it will be live on your screens this Saturday evening from 7:30. Now don't forget to come back and join us tomorrow from 11:30 AM UK time. But from all the team here at Virtual Windsor, enjoy the rest of your day, and from me, Adam Cromarty, it's goodbye for now.